Roll call, Mr. Toth.
Mr. Vishal Patel.
Here.
Ms. Peng.
Here.
Mr. Shi. Ms. White.
Here.
Ms. Anjana Patel.
Here.
Mr. Lugo.
Here.
Mr. Ronak Patel.
Here.
Mr. Errico.
Here.
Mr. Azzarello.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Statement.
Yes. In accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, the Edison Township Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Board of Education administrative offices and posted on the board's website.
Thank you. In accordance with NJSA Section 10.412, the Edison Township Board of Education adjourns to the confidential session for the purpose of discussing property acquisition. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
By Mr. Lugo.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
We will be back around 7:30 p.m. Thank you. Reconvene to open session. Do I have a motion to open?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we are going to start with the student recognition for J.P. Stevens High School Band and Choir Team. A couple of weeks back, they went to Disney, Florida, and came back with numerous awards at a national level, so we want to recognize them.
Great. Thank you so much, Board President Patel. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope all is well. One of the great joys of my position is to celebrate the accomplishments of our students and to show you where the rubber actually meets the road. And this program would not be as successful, not only without the support of our students and our community, but for the teachers and the administrators that lead those particular pieces. And tonight, I am going to turn the microphone over to Mr. Lee and Dr. Verdi, who should get a big round of applause right now to talk a little bit about the program. Perfect. Yeah, grab that mic. Grab that mic.
Just going to pick it up like this. Sorry, very nice. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for the Board of Education for approving our trip. It was wonderful. And we also like to give a special shout out to Dr. Kim and Ms. Witowski and the admission of J.P. Stevens. This trip was happening during the TSA shutdown, and it was very scary getting on a plane and, ICE agents and all this stuff happening. And we had a plan, executed, we had meetings, and we felt very safe and secure. So thank you so much, Dr. Kim and Ms. Witowski, for your help and guidance. And I'd like to have Dr. Verdi talk about some of the wonderful learning experiences we had on our trip.
Hi, so I just wanted to also add that prior to our clinic in Florida, the students participated in a clinic at Rollins College. Rollins College is the alma mater to Mr. Rogers. So, and the faculty was very impressed by the caliber of our playing. They're saying that many of our program is at the college level, that we were doing some of the college literature that they were studying. I also want to mention one of our students, Joel Onate. He's a senior, and he's going to be going to Montclair State University, and he composed an original composition. He's going to Montclair State for bass, performance, and composition. So one of the faculty members said that it was an amazing, an original, and mature composition. So we're very, very proud of Joel. Joel, could you please stand up? So Mr. Lee and I are very proud of our students, and do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, so just so you know what the competition was, it's called World Strides Heritage Festival, and it was held at the soundstage of Universal Studios, where a lot of our 90s shows were filmed for Nickelodeon. Our students were taken to the stage, and the judges from around the country were listening, and they were just blown away from our skills. And our students executed themselves with working really well under pressure and sounding amazing. In terms of what we won, our chamber orchestra was the best group out of 30 bands, orchestras, and choirs across the country. So we really, yeah. Paige Wang received the Best Soloist. Our chamber orchestra got gold. Our concert orchestra got first place gold in Division 3. And we also received the Adjudicator Award. So we're so proud of our students, and we're so happy everything worked out well. We're going to call up with their certificates. Some of them are not here, but we're still going to call them up anyway. A lot of certificates there. So Hope Yan, if you're here, great. We can save our applause to the end. Come up here, yep. Okay. Sam Ogari. Jacqueline B. Parth Patel. Ryan Sandeep. Sahara Krishnan. Ananya Mehta. John V. Singh. Myra Aharja. Neil Basul. Arnish Benjari. Aparna Nair. Gunarth Varasi. Lakshiman Ramahajam. Anushka Chennai. Catherine Wu. Shreya Takal. Ananya Samardan, Einish Verma, Ananya Sheath, Ayana Sheath, Pranav Murthy, Lily Todorich, Ithya Reddy, Athalia Corinne, Lalani Gopal, Diyuti Mohan, Mercy Gadarapu. It's out of order. It's okay. We're gonna, yeah. Mercy Gadarapu. Okay. Prithvi Manjas, Paige Wang, Arush Das. Keep going. Ansh Seth, Advi Kata Kadunu. Okay. Oop. Kiefer Kohil. If you get oddies, thank you. Sar Nahar. Tuhin Jenna. Brian C. Namya Parini. Arav Sharam. Vashu Agrawal. Siddharth Srinivas. Shlok Kumar. Supriya Shindia. Arya Bajia. Jia Bathra. Yashwant Balagaraswamy, Ahana Shah, Eilish Verma, Inviksha Main, Mohammed Rahan, Savaraj Jagwahala, Sri Krishna Bula, Nina Huang, Ayan Sheth, Grace Nee, Anjana Kumar, Nandini Ora, Sai Kimani. I went too fast. Ruthva Saravan. Vashasvi Vangaru. Joel Anate. Neve Brathra. Amulia Patam. Mahesh Ramani, Savir Duram, Tabika Saravan, Ahana Hedge, Hope Yan. Oh, that's it. And we're done. Okay, so a lot of kids, and thank you so much for all your help and support. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Thank you, Dr. Verdi. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And maybe a group picture right now, too, with the board as well. Yeah, perfect. Let's get on down. Great. Yeah, good.
Can I make it? I photobombed it.
Thank you. I'm good.
Cool. Okay, next thing we have is student council representatives, JP Stevens High School, Ms. Anuja Sharma.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anuja Sharma. I am a senior at JP, and I am a co-president of the Student Council. The month of April has been filled with energy, school spirit, and exciting opportunities for our students. One of the highlights this month was a student council event titled Hawk Island, a reiteration of the previous Mr. JPS. Nominated students came together to participate in competition shows of Minute to Win It challenges, perform talents, and even dress up in formal wear. Hawk Island truly showcased the spirit and unity of our school community, marking it as a tradition to remember. Additionally, we were proud to celebrate this year's Hall of Honor inductees at JP Stevens. Every 4 years, the community comes together to recognize the incredible achievements and contributions of 12 distinguished alumni. Current students volunteered to assist them in touring the school, followed by an induction assembly, and concluded with a reception with a host of snacks and finger foods made by FCCLA. Athletes have continued to give us much to celebrate as well. Our spring sports teams, including track, baseball, softball, and lacrosse, have been working hard and representing our school with dedication and determination. The boys' volleyball team is doing amazing with a record of 10-1, winning a majority of their games this season. Additionally, junior James Lugo recently hit 1,000 career assists just last week. Our girls lacrosse team has showed promising talent, winning their first game of the season and planning to host their senior night on May 13th. To celebrate all of our sports teams, we hosted a pep rally on April 17th. Students filled outside to cheer their peers on, including track, volleyball, flag football, and tennis. Afterwards, students participated in BOTC games to earn points for their classes. Looking forward, we are so excited for Battle of the Classes in June, a full-day event where students will participate in a series of class games, including a dance and a relay race, where one grade will be named the Battle of the Classes champions. Looking ahead, we're preparing for several milestones. AP testing is in the next coming weeks alongside NJSLA, while our seniors look forward towards some of the most anticipated end-of-the-year events. Prom and graduation is coming soon. We continue to plan activities that make the final months of school meaningful for all students, and as we move through April, we're excited to foster a spirited environment for everyone. Thank you to everyone for your continued dedication to making our school community so special.
Thank you. Okay, the next thing we have is budget presentation by Mr. Toth and Dr. Lorelli.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is our formal budget presentation. I know this has been much discussed over the last few meetings as well as at our upcoming town hall, but tonight is the official Board of Education public hearing, April 28th, in relationship to our budget presentation. Thank you. Okay. So this budget, as you know, the preliminary budget represented a 12% initial increase, and some of the items that we talked about in previous meetings were associated with that. And this budget that the board is going to be voting on tonight represents a revised version, which will result in a 6% increase for the upcoming school year. Through a series of measured revisions, we've substantially reduced this budget. We kept in mind that we wanted to make sure that there was as little impact as possible to the teaching and learning, to the programs that we currently have, to the extracurricular activities, sports programs, clubs, and tried to do this through a guided commitment through fiscal responsibility to the taxpayers here in Edison Township as well, to ensure that they are still participating in one of the most renowned school districts in all the state of New Jersey. Here are just some key informations in relationship to the financial adjustments within the operating fund, costs associated with our healthcare adjustment, our bank cap utilization, and our capital reserve withdrawal, all of which my colleague, Mr. Toth, will touch upon during his portion of the presentation as well. So, these reductions, right, to go from 12 to 6% do not come with easy choices, right? To achieve this revised budget, the district had to make a series of program and operational adjustments, the most significant being staffing reductions in approximately 80 positions, and that spans our some non-tenure staff members. It incorporates retirements, which will not be filled positions, resignations, which we will not fill, and eliminations across the board from teachers, paraprofessionals, administrators, central office staff, support staff categories. All of those components are reflected in relationship to this budget. There is a reduction in subscription busing as well, with a potential recommended fee increase, which we talked about at an upcoming transportation meeting. This budget also does reflect the elimination of pre-K for the 2026-2027 school year, the grant-funded program. We will explore opportunities for future pathways to support families through pre-K as well. We will do that through committee-based work also. Also part of the budget, you have to look at things that are discretionary, right? What are some of the things that we have that we've afforded the opportunity for students to participate in that go above and beyond? And field trips are part of those pieces, right? So we're going to be looking to reduce field trips in relationship to the burden that is afforded by the board, for broader program cost containment and measures, in order to assure that we're not looking at other avenues, which would be extra co-curricular activities or sports programs, things along those lines. So these are 4 of the main areas that we looked at as well too. And in addition to that, 3 of the major financial components of the preliminary budget, which is a postponed playground improvements, right? We had both of those scheduled at some of our elementary schools. And I do say postponed because this isn't something that is going to go away. We want to make sure that we revisit these pieces in future budget cycles. The elimination of air conditioning as well, which was a substantial loan payment that we were initially willing to take on in relationship to fulfill the strategic plan regarding air conditioning for all. The band equipment, so the band won't be going without equipment, but we won't be replacing the antiquated equipment that has been purchased, I believe, since the 1970s in some of the middle schools. So 1976. So what we'll have to look at is, a more measured approach in replacing these pieces as opposed to, moving forward with a one-time component. And listen, at the end of the day, right, when you hear the word cuts, when you hear the word, the elimination or reduction, these aren't words that a superintendent or a board of education want to talk about, during a budget hearing. And we haven't had to talk about it for quite some time here in Edison Township. But in order to move forward in a manner that I think does not compromise the level and quality of education that this community has been accustomed to, these are the areas that we addressed, right? So we want to make sure that we're protecting core instruction. Hopefully you believe that this process has been transparent through the town halls, through the posting of the budget. Board docs going down today obviously didn't help as well. So, our apologies with that, but that was a national outage. And, a commitment to long-range planning moving forward, right? The board has been fortunate enough to engage in many projects that addressed the one thing that was paramount, which was overcrowding, right? So I think the board can successfully say that not only have we solved that, but we're on a path to not only modernize our spaces, but provide environments that are conducive to teaching and learning. And now I'm going to turn the numbers portion of this over to my colleague, Mr. Toth. Mr. Toth?
Thank you, Dr. Aldarelli. So you can see here, budget at a glance. For the fiscal year 27, we have an operating budget of $352 million, of which the local tax levy is about $249 million. The anticipated revenue, state aid, and other miscellaneous revenue is about $103. Grants and entitlements, about $5.9 million, bringing our total budget of all of our funds to $358 million. This is about a 5.5% reduction in budgeted spending as compared to the fiscal year 26. All right, so these are revenue sources. You have the tax levy, you have our estimated revenue from local sources, which is miscellaneous revenue, rent, so on and so forth, subscription busing. We also have our budgeted fund balance, our withdrawal from capital reserve, our estimated grants, and that brings us to our total revenue of $358 million. The tax levy is an increase of 6%, so that obviously is thank you. That's half of what you guys saw in the preliminary budget. If you look at our spending on our operating budget, the adequacy level that the DOE calculates that we're supposed to spend is approximately $340 million in order to deliver a thorough and efficient education to our students. We are spending $352, so we're just barely over adequacy. The other piece to this puzzle is our local tax levy, or our local fair share. Even with the 6% increase, we're at $249 million. We're supposed to be at about $305. So we're $55 million short. This problem's not going to go away. We're going to be seeing this probably next year and years after. Add to the fact that our equalization aid, which is part of our state aid, it's our biggest component. I believe we receive $53 million. We are supposed to actually only be receiving 40, so the state is considering us overfunded, and I firmly believe that if the caps that the governor has in place on increases and cuts stay in place, we're still going to see a reduction every year. It could have been much, much worse if those caps weren't in place. All right, our appropriations, you can see our salaries, roughly about $200 million, benefits about 56. That makes up approximately 75% of our spending, right? Teachers and staff, along with bus drivers, custodians, they are what helps the district operate. They are what the district operates. They are the reason why we're able to deliver to our students these excellent programs and be one of the best school districts in the state of New Jersey. You have our transportation, special education spending, our capital lease outlay. So our capital outlay, of this $20.5 million, $19.5 million is to pay notes on loans that we've taken against some of our buildings in order to do construction, much like a homeowner would do in terms of doing a home equity line of credit. We cannot use any of our capital reserve money in order to fund these. They are considered current expenses under accounting practices and GASB. So they are accounted for here in our operating budget. And then you can see so on and so forth as we move down: insurance, curricular and co-curricular activities, professional services, charter school tuitions, and our total operating budget is about $352 million. Our total budget about $358 million. All right, so here's our tax levy comparison. This is on a calendar year. So for the calendar year 2025, we collected $235 million. The rate on that was about 3.14. On the average assessed home that we receive from the township, the Board of Ed doesn't assess home values. The average school tax, the school portion, was about $5,800. Now in the calendar year 2026, you'll see that's a different number, right? It says 242 as opposed to the 249. That goes to the fact that how taxes are collected. A portion of the fiscal year 27 levy is deferred into the calendar year 27. So we're only looking at the calendar year 2026 here in terms of the tax rate. You have valuations up at about $7.5 billion. So you got a $70 million increase in the valuations of properties here and commercial businesses in Edison, so that's good. Tax rate moves up to about 3.2. So did the value of the average assessed home. It's about 186.9. You're going to see through December about $183 increase on your school taxes through December. So it's going to climb from $5,804 to $5,987. So you'll see a $183 increase through December. And then if you take this out of the over a 12-month fiscal year, the 12 months meaning July through July through June 30th, it's about a $29.77 a month increase. It rounds out to be about $350, I believe, over 12 months. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this portion of the board presentation in relationship to the budget. I will turn this over back to Mr. Patel.
Thank you. I think next section is budget hearing, public comments for budget only. Yes?
You got to open public
Yep.
comments.
Oh,
Open public comments.
okay. Do I have a motion to open public comments?
Motion.
All in favor? All right, thank you.
How you doing? Arslan from Tenike Place. I was looking at the budget that was posted, the 12%. Then we got the drop down to 6%. What I'm wondering is, if for 3 years there was no increase, now everything is more expensive. So I looked through the budget. I'm like, what went up? So I have a list of a couple of things that went up. Staff costs. So this is the Board of Ed staff. Superintendent, assistant. We got 4 assistants. It went up $2.9 million just in 1 year. In 2 years, we went from 12 employees to 35. We're losing students, but we need more Board of Ed members to do what? We don't know. We don't know what, the 4 assistants do. We can get rid of 3 of them, give Rob a bump in pay, and we save close to $1 million. I used AI, so AI is telling me some jobs that don't make any sense. Director of Communications, it's $170,000 we're paying this new person. Brand new role, no prior equivalent in the district. Why do we need this? We have a staff development supervisor, which, look, I understand. I've worked in jobs. You go in and you're like, hey, am I doing well in my job? And they give you raises based on how well you're doing. But everybody gets a 3% raise. Every single member got a 3% raise, except one. One person didn't get 3%. They got 18.3% over 2 years. Why? I don't know. It was Jonathan's assistant, new position. Jonathan, you're good at your job. You don't need an assistant. And we don't need to bump her pay 18% in 2 years, 9% increase. Why? Who is this person? All right, some other terrible jobs. Videographer, we don't need that. Like, who's taking videos? Grant supervisor, 3 new executive secretaries, 4 technology specialists. We have a DEI officer who's Indian, but still in a town where 55% of the people are Asian. Everybody's white on the board. Everybody's white on the list. I'm looking down the names, and I'm like, what is this? Look, I don't care. I was born and raised in Jersey. I relate to these people more. We know this guy watches football. Like, I relate to these people, but most of these people don't. It doesn't make any sense. Hold on, I lost my page. Textbooks. Textbooks costs went up. Why? They went up how much percent? I lost my page and I'm losing. Uh-oh. Damn. All right. Sorry, textbooks went up 60%. We lost students. How could it go up 60%? Doesn't make sense. This is textbooks and supplies. First of all, supplies, when the year starts, I get a list of supplies I need to buy for my kid. So what supplies are we buying for $2 million for these students? Is it dry erase markers for the teachers? It doesn't make sense. It's not $2 million worth. Number 3 is a weird one. I'm going to quickly go over it. It says Central Services Supplies, Claude, the AI, I don't know if you guys use that. It said it was fraud. It doesn't make sense. It went up 147%. So we got to just look at that. There's no explanation for it on the budget or anything. I used ChatGPT also, said the same thing, doesn't make any sense. So we got to figure that one out before we vote on anything. Okay, we got employee health benefits. That was a big one, $7.7 million increase. $7.7 million is more than half of our total increase. You know, when the year started, the health insurance, you know, I have my own business. I get my own health insurance. They try to up mine like 20%. I was like, what the hell? I called them. You know, we're brown, we're Asian, we're like, I need to save some money. Well, like, you can't be ripping me off like this. I got it down to like 12%. I don't know who's doing the negotiations here, but we can't go up $7.7 million while losing teachers. You're losing employees and the healthcare is going up? Doesn't make sense. Special ed increase was 25%. Look, we want these special ed kids, right? We're not saying kick them out, but out of district placement went down to the lowest it's ever been. I don't know how any of this works. I'm reading the budget, so I don't know. It says, instead of sending these people off to a private school, we're going to take them in, we're going to do it all ourselves. I thought that was supposed to be cheaper, but it's more expensive. It's $6 million more expensive. Doesn't make sense to me. As for field trips and such, I just got a permission slip for my son. He's going to Liberty Hall. I'm paying for him to go to this field trip. Like, what are the costs? A bus? I got a party bus for my kid's birthday. It was $1,000. I had it for like 6 hours. I can give you the guy's number. Like, you guys are saying you were cutting field trips. What is that? Also, one last thing on your presentation. What was the first one?
Sir,
It said,
your time
excuse
is up.
me, your time is concluded.
one real.
You're already
5
over
seconds,
your
5
time. You're
seconds?
already over your time, sir.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Next. Yes.
Hi, I'm Sagarika, 8 Utica. I was just looking at the budget. A couple of questions I have. I see some of the revenues in terms of interest as really low, so I would really like to understand why the interests are low. Second, I'll be really point and very brief here. I don't want to take up a lot of time. I see other salaries for instruction, which has rose to like 28%. Can you please help clarify what this other salaries mean? Then there's sorry. Also, same issue, again, for the revenues, I see some of the revenues from summer school as zero. Same issue with rents and royalties. And interest from emergency reserve is also zero. I also see some restricted miscellaneous revenue. They show 750. So this was in previous years, these were zero. Another line item that I would like to highlight is the legal services. They are quite high from previous years. There are some architecture services which are not clearly mentioned as to where it was used and how it has been utilized. And yeah, that's pretty much the point items that I have, if anyone can clarify. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Good evening. My name is Luciana, also known as Miss Lucy. I'm a mother of 2 daughters, a former teacher in the preschool expansion program here in Edison, and currently a co-director overseeing classrooms within this program through a private partnership. After watching last Thursday's Board of Education meeting, I felt deeply saddened to hear that this preschool expansion program described it as a burden. To me, a burden is something very different. It's being a single mother, working full-time as an immigrant without family support in the US, serving as both provider and protector, not only for my daughters, but also for the students and families I support every day. That is a responsibility that I carry daily, and I carry it with gratitude and purpose. It is difficult to understand how our early childhood education could be viewed as a burden rather than as a critical foundation for lifelong learning. We are already seeing children enter preschool with speech delays, limited social emotional development, reduced independence, and challenges with basic self-care. These are not small concerns. They are directly impacting a child's ability to succeed in kindergarten and beyond. High-quality preschool is not optional. It's essential to addressing these needs early and effectively. Eliminating the preschool expansion program would be a serious mistake. It would negatively affect families who rely on it to work, support their housework, and build stability. It would also mean losing dedicated educators who invest their time, energy, and heart into preparing these children for success. As a mother, I'm personally grateful that both of my daughters benefit from this program. Without it, I would not have been able to return to the workforce and contribute more fully to my community. As an educator and now as a co-director, I have worked diligently to meet expectations and uphold quality. As private partners, we made significant investments expanding facilities and creating classrooms to meet the district's needs. And yet today, we have empty classrooms waiting for children who were never assigned to us. That is not a lack of capacity. It is a missed opportunity. Recently, our program was reviewed by a representative from the New Jersey Department of Education, and we also completed internal audit requirements. In both cases, we received a strong, positive feedback recognizing our commitment to quality education, solid infrastructure, and dedicated staff serving public school students. As an Edison resident, a mother, and an early childhood educator, I respectfully suggest a shift in this approach. The program should prioritize families who truly depend on the preschool in order to work, support their households, and build stability. By doing so, we can serve better the community while also maintaining strong enrollment and retaining commitment educators. It is also important to acknowledge that private partners made financial commitments based on the expectations that this program would continue to grow. Despite meeting all the requirements, we are now facing empty seats and uncertainty about the future. We are told that the program is a burden, and cancellation has been discussed. In life, when resources are limited, we adjust. We find solutions. We change strategies. We prioritize what matters most. We do not simply walk away from something that is essential. The same principle can and should apply here. Our shared goal has always been to support children, serve families, and strengthen our educators. I respectfully ask that you reconsider the perspective that preschool is a burden. Instead, I urge you to recognize it is, as it truly is, an investment in the future, one that builds strong foundations, support working families, and prepares children for long-term success. Please consider adjusting this strategy rather than eliminating the program. As a mom, and here as an early childhood educator, I'm advocating not only for myself, because my life was changed by this program. and people who knows me can tell you the truth. It's the truth. I'm here advocating also to serve the families on our community that really needs this program in order to carry their household. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Susan Campione, Schiffer Court in Edison. I've lived in Edison for just shy of 40 years. I've worked in the district for 23 years now. I sent 3 children to the school district. I served on the Budget and Bond Committee. It was over 25 years ago when we couldn't get referendums passed in Edison. And one of the things, I'm a taxpayer, I don't want to pay more taxes, but what we drove home to the public, and what I think a lot of the people are not understanding or forgetting, that the value of our homes are driven by the school district. And where the taxes are high, it's because the schools are good. We didn't raise the school taxes for 5 years. It's passed, it's done, we can't go back and change that, but everybody came, they yelled and screamed, so the board heard you. They took it from 12% to 6%. There had to be cuts. Everything has gone up. The electricity to run all these buildings, we have 19 schools. To heat the schools, it's gone up. Everything has gone up. It is unrealistic to expect this board to continue to only not raise the taxes and only raise them 2%. At this point, it's unsustainable. And yes, the salaries have gone up. It's called contracts. That's the way it works in every school district in the state of New Jersey. The employees have a contract. They can't just cut our salaries. It doesn't work that way. And supplies. It's not just the supplies for the children, it's supplies to run every office in every school building and in the Board of Education office. They don't run themselves. We need offices to run the district. So, people are coming up who may not be as educated in education and how it works, but they listen to you, they cut the budget 6%, they need to vote on it, they need to move on. We're dealing with people's lives. There's non-certificated staff that don't know whether they're gonna have a job, not have a job. I was in that position. I was fired from the district when we went through this several years ago. The paras then were brought back after the summer of not knowing that they were going to be brought back. Every teacher gave $1,000 from their salary, and we were fortunately rehired, but at a 25% cut. It took until last year to bring that guide for the paras back to what it was in 2010 when all of that happened. So, I understand and I feel for the people, I'm a rep that keep coming to me, what is happening? It's the board, that's your number one job is to pass a budget. And at this point, Dr. Aldarelli, Jonathan, they've done a lot of work. They did what you asked. They cut the budget. Vote for it, move on, and the public has to understand you cannot expect a 0% budget with the price of everything. They feed children. The price of food has gone up. Everything has gone up. A 0% is ridiculous. And yes, did some of these board members run on that? They did. But come on, everybody. Politicians, they want to get elected. They say things that it's not always true. We need to move on. And it's not good for the district to not vote on this tonight and let it go to the county, and we don't know what's going to happen. We've seen that before when our own town decimated the budget when it didn't pass through the board. So, I'm urging you to just make a decision and move on, and for this town to understand that you have to raise the taxes, and your house is valued because of the schools. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Adam Glynn. I'm the CEO of the JCC of Middlesex County, one of your private partners in the preschool expansion program. And I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you. I understand, and I think all or nearly all the people in this room understand the challenges that you are presented with in balancing the need to maintain and to, frankly, the responsibility to not only maintain but enhance our educational system, while at the same time with the competing challenge of stabilizing the tax impact on the residents of Edison Township. The reality is, not everything can be a transaction. I listened at the beginning of this meeting when we were touting our music programs and our performing arts programs, and I listened, being the father of 3 children who went through this district, who has lived in this community for more than 30 years. You all walk around, and the people in this community walk around and tout the excellence of this school system. You brag about it all the time. You speak about the positive impact of the educational system on our property values as the basis for the reason that people and businesses come into this community. An exceptional system, an exceptional school system costs money. A school system that offers the array of programs and services, the opportunities that Edison Public Schools offer, costs money. A system that welcomes new immigrants and first-generation Americans, individuals who look to be integrated into a community, with small children who need to develop social skills and language skills. Many of our children coming in have developmental challenges. They need these services, and that costs money. I also know that there are individuals and groups in this community who, once their children are out of the school system, believe that their responsibility to support that system has ended. That is, frankly, short-sighted and unfortunate, but we understand that exists. But what I find most unfortunate is this. You can debate various line items, you can debate capital projects, but when your decision results in the elimination of the one most significant and pure educational component of this budget, the preschool expansion program, respectfully, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You have succumbed to the headwinds of a few loud people who view it as a transaction. I'm one of your private partners. I see children every day who come into my program who, without that program, are literally going to be behind next year when they go to kindergarten, who come in with language challenges, with social challenges, who learn to read, who learn social skills, who learn problem solving, many of which have challenges, developmental challenges. We have invested in teachers and in programs and in resources, and these children grow over the course of the year. Your decision, which respectfully was the easy decision, it's the easy decision to just cut. It is not bold. You're not stepping out on a limb. You took the easy way out, as opposed to determining what is most important, what goes beyond the transaction. I am suggesting to you, I am imploring you. You are literally going to put hundreds of children in this district behind. That is simply the case. You need to do the work to find a different way. If you determine that you are limited to that level of tax increase, If you're going to succumb to that headwind, then you need to find a different way. But to cut the purest form of educational support that starts with our youngest children is not the way to go. It's not the bold way. It is the cop-out. And I'm imploring you, for those hundreds of children, to do something better, to be better, to do something different, and to understand that your responsibility goes beyond the simple transaction. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Vilma Sierra. In 129 Sunrise Drive. I've been living in Edison for 20 years. I always admire the education. I'm an immigrant myself from Honduras. And I'm here tonight to advocate for the preschool program. Me, myself, I'm a professional in the early education. I work as a family advocate, and I'm directly impacted as a mother of a 3-year-old who just submitted that documentation for the lottery system. And learning how everything is being done, I understand the limitations of all what is happening, but how everything was done on a short notice and cutting this program that is just, like as the person spoke before me, transactional, it's just shocking. Preschool is not a luxury. Preschool is essential due to its long term, and it's crazy to think that you're not seeing that. There's so much data that backs up this information. You're thinking you're cutting expenses, but you're not. What you're doing is setting these kids behind. And when they go to kindergarten, what are you doing? The teachers, they're gonna be impacted. They're gonna be burnt out. How is this beneficial for the teachers, where they have to spend time working with these children that are behind because they didn't receive the tools that were needed when in those crucial years? How is that saving money? Preschool is not, it's a smart investment. It's not a spending. It's cost avoidance, because it brings long-term graduation rates. It brings better literacy levels in 3rd grade. For me, it does not fit in my head how this is not considered. And it's put there, it was not lightly considered. But to me, honestly, it doesn't seem like, because it's hard in my head for you to not respectfully, to not understand that. And it's not like somebody else said, it's not a burden, it's beneficial. And and then parents like me, we need the tools, we need the resources. There's single moms up there that needs the professional in that area. So please, I ask you respectfully, consider that. At least, and then my other question is, we're gonna see other avenues. What are the other avenues? My understanding, this is coming from federal grant money, also causing some costs for what I was able to gather. Why are we cutting those funds and just declining just like that, like a transaction, when it's impacting the kids, the future of Edison? This is something that it does, and that's why I'm trying to plead here that this is not, early education is not a feel-good policy. It is necessary, and there's data that you can read about it, and long-term, it will save money to the school district. You can ask around. I've seen videos that what is the grades that you don't want to teach? Kindergarten. A lot of teachers, because a lot of these kids that come into kindergarten may not be prepared with the social emotional skills, the other skills that they learn. And I experienced that myself, and I'm here to advocate for the other parents who are not here present. So please reconsider that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. Yes.
Blowing up, Joyce.
Joy Ship, Edison, New Jersey. Actually, I believe in universal preschool for everybody in the state of New Jersey. I do, because I think as an educator, I believe that, we should give them an early start. Now, through this, I heard that we have been losing money all the time through the subscription busing. True, years have gone by, and we don't, at the gas prices that are going up now, I notice even when I go to the gas station, it's like almost $10 more just to put gas in my car. And talking about people when it comes to the health care, and they're talking about the health care and the prices went up. Well, this is what's happening, because I was in a meeting last week about that. As the hospitals keep gobbling up other hospitals, we don't have the opportunity to bargain like we used to. All right? And with the government dismantling education, I don't know if somebody under a rock or something, they're dismantled the education department. I talked to a college professor on Saturday that was crying the blues about the money that we're losing. And also, within the next few years or so, 1 out of every 31 children is going to be autistic. That's the cost. Like, people don't want to see, they just want to cry wolf, they want to fearmonger, but they don't want to take all these things and listen to them about different things that are going on. They know that we're not getting the money that we should get from the federal government, and I wish everybody would go down there and fight for that. That's the most important thing, because we can't get, you can't get a blood from a rock. But everybody seems to think that we can get all this stuff for free. We can't get it for free. My electricity bill, $100 more. Every bill is added on, and the prices are going up. Everybody's acting like the prices are not going up. Maybe the price was different 5 years ago. We had a different administration throughout our presidency and stuff. But now, everybody is for themselves, all right? The people who don't want the preschool now at all, for the other people, you know why? Because their kids is in the 5th and 6th grade now. So they don't want it, because everybody is me. I'm so disgusted with the way people are nowadays. That's all they're concerned about. They're not concerned about people as a whole. They, I call it like black-hearted. They don't care about the other individual. And I noticed some single mothers and stuff in here struggling. They don't have the advantage of paying for, a good preschool for their child. But the other person sitting next to them, they ain't worried about it, because it's not, their kid no longer is in that space. And I wish people would just, and I keep saying it over and over again, stop the fear-mongering, stop all this craziness, come together and see what is the most important. Because the government is not going to help us anymore. We're going to have to lean with each other. We're going to have to find out ways to make money. Now, years ago, I belonged to the Education Foundation in Edison. A bunch of people got together, and we raised money and stuff for field trips and other things that were very important to us. Nobody wants to do those things now. Everybody wants the next person to do the job. No, let them do the job. No, I don't want to put my hands in it. But, if you have a good foundation and have where you get a bunch of people together and raise money, it'd be a good idea. Because as I was in Texas, I noticed in Texas, the alumni from the high school, they paid for the sports program. Not that their education is as good as ours, but they still have schools within the state that are good. But those people decided together that we're going to pay for that. We're going to pay for all the sports programs. We're going to pay for the travel. We're going to do this together as a whole. Now, as long as we come back and we'll pick at this budget piece by piece by piece, the loud voices, the squeaky wheel always gets oiled. And the rest of the people who have legitimate reasons and legitimate interests, those people, they don't get heard, okay? And I ask people back and forth, I don't believe in you, because if you come to this meeting and you don't come to the council meeting, then I don't believe in you. at all, because they're giving out 100% raises and 120% raises, and I don't see nobody there. Everybody's okay. So in order for me to believe you, you're going to have to show up to more than this board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce. Yes.
Kanika Chopra, Violet Place. Board, I'm here tonight both as an educator and a lifelong Edison resident. I graduated from this very high school, and this school system is the reason I pursued a career in education. I've chosen to raise my family here because I believe in this community, and that's why I'm asking you to reconsider the decision to turn down state preschool expansion funding. This is not just a budget decision, it's a decision about access, equity, and long-term strength of our schools. We know that high-quality early education works. Children who attend schools with strong preschool programs enter kindergarten more prepared and more confident. They are less likely to need intervention later and more likely to succeed academically and beyond. As an educator, I see the difference every year. The gap between children who had access to early education and those who didn't is clear from day one and incredibly difficult to close. Turning down this funding does not eliminate the need. It shifts the burden onto families. Right now, many families in our community are already struggling to find affordable preschool options. Seats are limited, wait lists are long, and private programs are often out of reach. When we decline funding that expands access, we're effectively saying that early education is not for everyone. And that's not aligned with the values of our public school system. This decision also affects our district's future. Neighboring districts are expanding their preschool programs and investing in early learning. When we choose not to, we're not standing still, we're falling behind. Over time, this impacts enrollment, community trust, and the strength of our schools. I understand that there are concerns about funding, mandates, and implementation. Those are real and important, but they are challenges to solve, not reasons to walk away from an opportunity that benefits our youngest learners. Because the reality is simple. It's far more costly to catch children up later than it is to support them early. This is a chance to lead, to affirm that in this community, every child deserves a strong start. I urge you to reconsider this decision, engage with the community, and focus on how we can make this work. The children who would benefit from this decision aren't here tonight, but they will live with its impact. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Yes. Joe, after him. Joe after Sake, yeah. No, he's going, sorry.
After him?
Yeah.
Saket Gohil, 1725 Raspberry Court. Good evening, everybody. I'll just get directly to the point. Many residents tonight are addressing the major issues, such as the land deal. I only have one comment on that. When we buy an elephant, you also have to feed it. Big decisions come with long-term responsibilities. With that said, I want to focus on several other areas of concerns within the budget. Free breakfast program. Who is sponsoring the free breakfast? A long-term resident, Edison resident I work with asked me, we are providing free breakfast to all students. We have roughly 17,000 students. Some certainly qualify for free breakfast and lunch, but not all. And the food being served is not consistently healthy. Chocolate mint, muffins, snack bars. Would you want your children eating that every morning? If not, why should ours? Why not offer real fruit, grilled cheese, or other healthier options? And if healthier options are not feasible, why not scale back program and redirect those funds to areas of greater needs? To be clear, this is not about denying support to low-income families. We fully support providing meals to students who qualify, but can you please share the actual number of students who qualify for low-income meal assistance? Second, software licenses. I often sit with my children, and since kindergarten, I have been sitting and I have been looking at the student portal. And I talk about the apps and the softwares provided by the district. Most of the time, they tell me they don't use them. So here are my questions. How many students actually log in and use all of this licensed programming? Do we really need this many apps? Why can't we consolidate? And how much of the budget is allocated to this licenses? Free program and communication. It's easy to offer something for free and take it away later, but it comes with the consequences, and that's why you have all these people here. If a program is free only because of temporary state or federal funding, please communicate that clearly so expectations are set appropriately. Residents should not be misled about what is permanent and what is not, especially not during elections. Tax levy and program priorities. Anything that you can redirect or optimize will help reduce the tax levy. This is what residents expect, and we hope you all will honor the commitments made during election. We are still waiting for the list of mandatory versus non-mandatory programs. A BOE team insists on continuing programs that many residents do not support. We are more than willing to seek donations from organizations or groups who wish to fund them. They can attach their name to these programs, and their contributions can be recognized for generations to come. Subscription buses. Regarding the changes to the subscription bus program, families need clarity on what has shifted and how this decision will affect our daily routines. We also need to consider the increased traffic this will create around the school during the morning drop-off and afternoon pickup. More cars mean more congestion, more staff required to manage it, and most importantly, greater safety risks for our children. I urge BOE team to address this concern openly and ensure that any changes prioritize student safety and the well-being of our families. And finally, accountability. I hope that tonight we actually receive answers. For the last 2 meetings, we were told answers would be provided at the end, and they never were. We are here in the good faith, and we accept the same in return. Thank you.
Joe.
Joe Romano, Edison. Welcome, people. At the end of the day, we're talking about, education. I mean, there's people up there that are educators, I know that. Fact of the matter is, the people in the audience here, you're telling them that, well, we can cut it. Okay. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. When you go out with your families, and you go out to a restaurant, instead of ordering French fries for everybody, only order 1 French fry for your whole family. You're cutting costs. We're talking about subscription busing. Don't worry about it. We'll drop it. Okay. How about preschool? I know there's educators up there. I know of at least 2. Subscription, busing, or preschool. Preschool is not an advantage. It's a necessity. Our teachers know the difference. They see the difference. The people that are part of the preschool program, when those students leave the preschool and go to kindergarten, our teachers know the difference. Our problem is we should make sure that our students, those parents, those are the parents. They need that help. They need that help with preschool. Now, let's talk about, there was an assembly of people here They all got awards. Those people excel in our district. Are we cutting their program? You understand that education is well-rounded. I'm not stopping it. I don't think that cut is well thought out. I don't think that everybody here will have to take and figure out that it's whatever number it is, but I don't think it's enough. At the end of the day, as a former board member, I said no. I said no twice. And right now I'm saying no again. Because the parents that are here, the parents that are listening to us, they're saying, maybe he said no for a reason. So whenever you go out, I know you'll be going out soon, and you only order one French fry for the family. It's not the way to do it. Our students need every possible avenue to get further in life. The problem is simple. If we don't give them a thorough and efficient education, starting with preschool, let me rephrase, a thorough and efficient education. Now, when every one of you board members run through governance training, the first sentence was to see that it runs well. So when you go out to the store or to the restaurant and you order one French fry for the family, you know that don't work. Give our students what they need. And just don't give them a number. Because we don't know what we need until it happens. The issue is simple. I would say no. Because our students need everything that we can give them. And you're not living up to governance. Governance. To see that it runs well. Because it doesn't run well when you order one French fry for the whole family. Thank you very much. Vote no. Vote no.
Anita.
Anita Amarnath, Edison Glen, Edison, New Jersey. First of all, thank you very much to the entire board and Superintendent, Dr. Alderedi. You've done good work for the town, especially some of the things people really appreciate is the academies that you have opened in both J.P. Stevens and Edison High. So these are some of the positive points which I really applaud. One thing I want to open up, which we all will agree, I hope, there's a bill I heard in the New Jersey state. It's a 1967 rule for the 2.5 miles subscription busing. I hope, they bring it down to 1 to 1.5 miles. I just hope so. There's a bill there if anybody can advocate for it. I'm here just to give you some thinking cap points. The first thing is, again, I reiterate on the fiscal responsibility. People are really worried. Board president and board. We are going into the next year with a $352 million budget. We have had some issues last year. We have had a reduction in state aid funding, and we had a planned in of 7.7 million expenditure, but we took money from the capital reserve and we spent 38.9 million. So we are trying to build this with the 14.1 million levy. Please, when we go into the next year, we are going to go with a reduced state aid. We have a worry about the policy and fiscal responsibility. We do not want to be in the same situation with all the people advocating next year for an increased tax rate. So please, when we go into the next year, we want to see a better fiscal responsibility. The second thing is, this brought me to the thought about looking at the line items on the budget. I know that we are reducing by cutting subscription, by increasing the subscription fees, AC, the pre-K. So I was looking at the line items, and I wanted to bring it to your attention. Line item 29680, there's an increase in the attendance and social work. Why are we having an increase there? I think there's an increase in 100K. I was just thinking, are we expecting more cases, out-of-town cases to be resolved this year? Why is the increase of 100K there? Somebody else brought it up. Textbook spending has gone up consistently 59.4%. Right now, it stands at 70.9%. Why? Has there been any new curriculum adoptions? We are doing an online subscription for the textbooks. Can we save some money there? Because there is increase in expenditure. Is there something we can do there? The third thing is just bringing to my mind about Edison Township. Our average home valuation has increased from 2.5 to 2.7%, and we have a lot of good activity in the town. So you haven't increased the levy. Levy has been consistent, and this year it has gone by 6%. What happened to all the increase in the taxes, the revenue which we are getting with new construction and new businesses? Are we using the money responsibly? Will we be able to use that money for the next year as well? This is just a generic question. So thank you very much. There are a couple of other things which was brought to my notice. The enrollment this year, last year has come down by 500, but you have based your increase of student population by 650 students next year. I just wanted to bring this to your attention because last year the enrollment has come down, but next year you're projecting an increase of 650. So people had a question in that angle. So that's about it. We, the people, are looking out for the best. We have elected you, board president and the entire board members. You represent us. We don't have to come here and give you all the stats, but as responsible citizens, we are here to help you. Please, please, with the economy, the inflation, and as we all said, the grocery prices, please take a look, revisit, see the line items where you can really save money and help us out. Thank you so much for serving Edison. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Viral Desai. I live here in Edison. I think we all live here. I had no intention of coming up and speaking today at all. I was here to just absorb what is going on, and so I really don't have a huge kind of sway one way or the other with what's happening. However, Just a little bit background, right? My kids are first-generation Americans. I wasn't born here. I was naturalized maybe 20 years ago, something, who knows, right? So was my wife. Both our kids were first-generation Americans. And they didn't go to preschool. We didn't have preschool back then. They're now in their 20s. And I completely, I'm listening to some of the early childhood educators who spoke. I heard about one of the private partners that you have talk, right? And like a couple of the gentlemen. And I'm convinced that pre-K is a very important program, right? I mean, no question there. However, I think what we do need to think is, how are we going to fund it? And the reason I say that is not because it's not important. Let's think about how do we fund it without it becoming undue burden on the taxpayers. Because yes, somebody said it's $30 a month. I forget, somebody had a presentation saying it's, at an average, it's $30 a month per household for whatever. Understood, right? Having said that, this isn't the only thing going up in prices. Somebody talked about gas price going up, electricity going up. It's going up for all of us. All of us, like even in like our homes, okay? The economy, no matter what these numbers talk about in terms of unemployment rates and what have you and whatnot, let me tell you, I was employed gainfully for 30 years. I lost my job a year and a half ago. I can't get anything that closely resembles my job that I've had for 30 years. Right now, my wife is the only one earning in our household, and we're still living in that house. The fact that the home prices go up doesn't really put money in my pocket. In fact, right now, it's just simply taking money away from my pocket. So, preschool is important, yes, but then let's fund it in a way that makes sense. I mean, somebody came here and mentioned we went from 12 employees somewhere to 35 employees, or the benefits went up $7 million, the notebooks went up like whatever, 60-something%. I mean, you guys are much smarter and know way more than what I know, all right? So I'm not gonna stand here trying to tell you what to do. But all I'm saying is there's got to be a way to do this. This is not easy on any one of us, because the taxes aren't the only things going up. They're not, right? So to turn around and to say people who don't have kids in school don't want to fund it, no, we want to, because our kids went through these schools, right? My wife went to this school. Her brother went through this school. I mean, unfortunately, I grew up in India, right? I mean, I did not have the benefit of like the education system here. And which is okay, it is what it is. However, with everything we have, we've got to be able to do better with the budget. I mean, I look at this $360 million or $52 million. I mean, it's not chump change. It's not, right? So why can't we reappropriate some of these monies from the benefits and like increasing the staff 300% in 2 years, and some people getting like 18-20% bumps or whatever. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's a way you guys can figure this out. I mean, I don't have the insights that you guys do, right? And then on a different note, right? I mean, and it's just something to think about. I don't know. Like, I mean, the way the world is changing, everything you believed 6 months ago has changed. In the next 6 months, everything's going to change again with the AI and robotics and like everything else. How are we, or you, or us, as the adult of this township, making sure that a curriculum stays up with the changing? I mean, think about it. What we teach kids in school today is going to mean nothing in 6 months because the world is changing so fast. So maybe that is something else we focus our energy on, rather than like, I don't know, somebody said we're trying to buy like a swampland for $10 million or something. Like, what is that? I mean, no, I don't know what that is. I mean, why aren't we spending that money to do this? Like, again, I didn't come here prepared with anything, but just listening to these people, I feel like we're taking away preschool so we can like triple our staffing in some department. I don't know which department. Like, I mean, there's got to be a better way. There's just got to be a better way, guys. I mean, and like, I don't have anything, so the last thing is this, right? I mean, how do these sessions go? Is this just people come, speak, and then that's it? Or is there a question answer, or like, so what happens? Like, I mean, so everybody, are you guys taking notes? You're gonna go back, nothing's gonna happen. So everyone's just talking and that's pretty much it? Okay? All right.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah, right. Yeah. No, you. Yeah.
Hey, Chris. Anthony Deamron, Edison. Boy, you know, it's frustrating because you guys don't defend yourselves. You guys don't go back and forth, and it's tough because, I don't know. It's just, that's the approach you guys take. That's fine. But Joyce, where's Joyce? Man, she hit it, I mean, just on the nail. Joyce, you know what's funny? I have a photo. I printed it out today, Joyce. Where is it? Here it is. This is a photo. You're in this. Remember this at James Monroe? This is when all the assemblymen, the state senator, the mayor, the governor were taking credit, taking credit for the state funding about 4.5 years ago. Joyce is the only one that's here still that's fighting and advocating. None of them are here today. None of these other people. Now, meanwhile, at town hall, they're throwing, ICBMs over here and basically telling you how shitty of a job you're doing and lecturing you. Does the mayor offer solutions? Does he want to come in? Does he want to extend a hand and show us how to do it? And the other thing too is, I'm sorry, I'm just a little upset. You have and I understand, I respect some of these people that are upset. There's cuts coming and stuff like that. But I really never knew how a district ran until I sat at Teresa Ward's house for like 7 hours once, and she explained to me. And to make cuts, to go through it and say, you don't need this job, you don't need that job, it doesn't work like that. Districts are run a certain way. That's why we're successful here. You can't just go ahead and just cut jobs that you just don't feel are necessary. They're all necessary. That's why we are who we are. So you got to save these jobs, right? But at the end of the day, like Joyce, you said this. It's funny. Woodbridge is not getting cuts, right? Who's advocating? Where are these people? Where are our state senators? Where's our assemblyman? Where's the mayor? The idea that you guys are not paid, it's funny. All the people here that are upset, I hope you do go to town council meetings. Do you know what's going on at the town council meetings? All the raises they're giving themselves? The mayor was in office with all these, and I'm not blaming the mayor, but he was in office for 2 months and he took credit for this stuff. He's not here today. It's the same constituents. They're raising taxes down at town hall this year. I don't feel sorry. You guys elect these people, all right? You got to know this stuff. It's upsetting. Yeah, it's upsetting, but honestly, the mayor, and I keep saying this, and I don't want to make, but the politics in this it is what it is. And, he puts out a video, and it's damaging because he's got a big outreach. Now, I probably had the second biggest outreach, but he's well surpassed me, all right? He has. And he stirs this stuff up. But he's not offering solutions. He's safe there. And we can't have the superintendent get into politics. We don't want him into politics, all right? That's not your job. And you guys are in a tough spot. I really do feel sorry for you. You got to make tough decisions, all right? But it's not like you guys don't know what all this stuff already, all right? It's sad, and I feel like a lot of this stuff is unnecessary that it happened. Honestly, I feel some of it's deliberate. I feel like the fact that I don't care what the equation and the math is on this. Are you kidding me? If we wanted funding, if he had his board president in here, are you telling me that they wouldn't get funding this year? I don't believe for 1 second you would have the funding this year. That's just the way it goes. And I'm sick and tired of nobody just calling it out for what it is. And listen, we used to, when you don't raise taxes for 2 years, I don't know, that used to be celebrated, I thought. We used to celebrate things like that. Now, I talked to a couple friends and I educated myself, and I understand now, you raise it 1%, you put, a little cushion. I get it. I get that. I'm all for that. Maybe you should have done that. Maybe that was a mistake made. I understand. You don't get paid, though. You're not giving yourselves raises like they are at town hall. You have to explain this to people. You have to. These are the facts. Joyce said it 100% right. They worked, in Woodbridge, they're working together. It's funny. In Woodbridge, they have Coughlin, who is the Assembly Speaker of the state of New Jersey. All right? They got their funding. He also happens to be the mayor's attorney here in Edison. We didn't get our funding. Yet the mayor endorses the governor. We had a former Board of Ed member, hosted the would-be governor at her house. They didn't advocate for our funding. These are the facts. And it's upsetting. They had no problem taking photo ops here when they needed, but they're not sitting here with you because they don't want to sit here with you, quite honestly. They want to throw bombs and they want to drop it in their laps. And it's unfair, it is what it is, but they're elected. He gets to do that, unfortunately. And you guys, honestly, he has a PhD in BS. That's what I think the mayor has, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. Because if he wants to come down here and explain to everybody how to do a better budget, more responsibly, you should host a meeting, a town hall, and let him educate all of us. They shouldn't be losing jobs up there. It's unacceptable. Nobody should be losing jobs. This did not have to happen. So I feel sorry for everybody, but go down to town hall too, because that's where your voices should be. Trust me when I tell you. All right, trust me when I tell you. It's sad, but I wish you guys the best of luck. I don't know, and that's really it. So, all right, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Next, yes, yeah.
Raj Nagarajan, Heritage Drive, Edison, New Jersey, right? I know most of you. I've been in this town for 27 years, and I worked on a lot of issues, both on the BOE and the council side, on the side of all the residents, and I'm not expected to run for my lifetime, okay? I'm here to talk for the public of Edison. First of all, I want to thank you all for doing something great. I was part of the referendum, right? We had this referendum in 2019. We said we are not going to borrow $180+ million. You got all the changes done in JP and everything, and I'm very, very happy because last time I came here was when Dr. Bragan was here, and I had to fight for the rights of the children and parents with Dr. Bragan, right? Because it was a very tough situation with everybody having COVID and stuff, right? I'm so happy to see the new auditorium. As much as possible, I am telling all my friends, neighbors to just, get here. This is the good part. The second part is, I heard a lot of these people, right? A lot of the people talk to you and tell you about pre-K. I'm all for pre-K for poor people, people who do not have money. We cannot afford pre-K for millionaires. How is it fair that hundreds of seniors, right, who still trust our township? None of my neighbors are living in a lot of neighbors I know, right, in the last 25 years, they have not left. They trust our township. They trust us. Edison schools have been very good, right? I know Gene, I know what happened to the Board of Education. A lot of you who got elected recently, you don't know, right? Board of Education and the schools were in there was nepotism, there's a lot of stuff, okay? It was cleared because of involvement of people and wanting to run, right, get into the board and clean up. And today, I'm extremely sad we are going backwards, right? The point here is there is always a need to tax, right? But you will have to cut somewhere, right? And don't cut for the students from first grade to 12th, because we need it to be there so that our schools are good. Even now, when I saw on the page, right, where I saw Woodrow Wilson was named one of the best schools, right, I was so happy, right? I mean, there are so many people who go for the #1 school district in New Jersey. If Edison is not cutting it, that's not what it is. It's about the quality of education, right? We have been turning out students since the start of Edison, right, whenever Edison was accomplished, right? The point here is we cannot be here all the time to babysit you guys, right? It is not about your existing qualification. You have to spend the time, right? Somebody like Gene, everybody who was here 15 years ago, they spent hours and hours and hours understanding the system and making sure there are checks and balances, okay? I heard the teachers. I heard the pre-K folks, okay? But the point is we are all for pre-K, but we have to make sure that everybody pays their fair share. The second thing that I'm so annoyed and angry about is, I have a child who's 5.5 years old. Any private kindergarten, pre-K I go to, it's messed up. And the reason they're saying is because of our school's pre-K program, because when you got a grant, right, you have to make sure it's gradual. You opened it up for everybody because money was free during Murphy's time, right? We borrowed $4 billion. Now Cheryl is somebody who's physically conservative. She's not going to dole out the money you want, right? It should have been a more responsible program. You should have cut there, right? And this $28 million would have been, we could have saved a lot of money if you had started an organization. Richard Brescher, who was on the board, right, had that idea because East Brunswick schools, right? They shave like $10, $15 million because all the companies invest in it. So at least when the builders build, they can invest in it, right? I want you to seriously look into it. We have been talking about it for 7 years. These are the situations that kind of money will help. And there are a lot of corporations within Edison, right, that can contribute, right? You need to look into it, right? And the third thing I really want to say is when you look at necessities, right? I was so shocked to learn about the land deal, okay? I just got to know a few days ago, there's a 1989 resolution that will not allow other than a grocery store there in the Talmadge land, which is in a flood zone, right? So do your due diligence. And the third thing I ask of you is, in 2021, we had a residence budget committee, okay? Where we signed a non-disclosure and we were allowed to review the budget. Some of you were here. So I think you should consider that so that this kind of a situation doesn't repeat next year. Because there are a lot of items you can look at. I know all of you have full-time jobs outside here. Some are in IT, some are in something else, right? That doesn't matter, right? You need to have your eyes in. $370 million is a lot of money. When I started looking at the budget, it was around $210 million. Right? Back like 10, 12 years ago, okay? Shannon Peng, Jerry, all of them would know that because, they were there, right? So please be more watchful, right? I want to really congratulate you for what you achieved in the enhancement, right? And please do look into what I told you because these two things can save money. You can think about cutting, but when you have a deficit, we need the money from the corporation and the builders because builders cannot officially donate to you. It's against the law. I even looked at it, right? So the only way to do this is to start a nonprofit where we have people from Edison, big people from Edison, where the companies contribute there, right? Look into it. Because if you're short by $17 million, you could have got it from there, right? Out of 28, and you could have saved our taxes like anything, right? And next time, don't think of increasing it to 15%, 20%, something like 3%. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. O'Reilly, you want to give some okay. So Matt, can you hold on a second? Yeah, Dr. O'Reilly, can you give some insight into the education foundation that you've been working on?
Yeah. So the sentiments that the gentleman had just talked about is something that was been part of our strategic plan. We currently have probably about 4 trustees committed, looking for a couple more in relationship to that to launch our first meeting within the next couple months. The budget and a couple other pieces have kind of derailed discussions with potential candidates. Mr. Glynn has been instrumental in assisting me in that process as well too. But that information does not fall on deaf ears, and it's something that we are looking forward to putting forward in the year to come.
Thank you, Matt.
Matt Revnacki, TA President. I think I'm a fairly intelligent individual, but I'm very confused when I come sometimes in here. The board put out a 12% budget. None of these things would have been even discussed because nothing would have been cut. Taxpayers complain through social media. I don't do social media, but I heard all about it. Come to board meetings, et cetera, to make cuts. Well, when you cut almost $15 million, 6%, that's approximately what it is. What the heck do you think is going to happen? You got to cut programs, you got to cut staff. The reality of it is that. And again, like Mr. Toth said before, and I've been saying this for a while now, this is not a one-year deal. This is probably at least a 3 to 4 year deal. And in the future, we're not going to have some of these things to cut, which means other things have to be cut. More staff has to be cut. That's the reality. The reality is I got a group of people sitting in the back there some of which are non-tenured teachers. They're here because they're worried they're going to lose their job. Some that are more senior members to support these young people. Some of them have been through it before, including myself, a couple of times in my 38 years here in the district. That's the reality of the situation. I'm going to put on my teacher cap for a minute. I want everybody in this room up on stage, everybody out behind me, and even those that are watching via live stream. I want you to close your eyes. Come on, close your eyes. Put down your cell phones. I promise I'm not going to come and lift your wallet or anything. I want you to clear your mind. Come on, Vishal, close your eyes. Board attorney, close your eyes. I guess you should keep them open. And I want you to clear your mind. And I want you to think about the person that had the biggest impact on who you are right now in your life. And if you're like me, it's probably your parent, maybe a sibling, maybe a grandparent. Eliminate relatives from the list. Think of who else had the biggest impact on your life. If you're like me, and I'm sure many of you are, it's probably a teacher, a coach, a club advisor, maybe a clergy person. You can open your eyes now. And picture that person was not there for you to become who you are because they were part of a budget cut. That's also the reality here. There's people in this ranks that are going to lose jobs that won't be here for current students and future students because of cutting budgets and cutting programs. Students that come to school because of some of these programs, by the way. I've had students in the past, their purpose really for coming to school, yeah, they're getting an education, but it was Mata UN. By the way, I did this 15 years ago at Middlesex College with state legislators there. Former Governor Florio was there. I did that same activity. And I walked out with, at that time, it was Assemblyman Patrick Dignan, now state senator, and he came up to me and said, Matt, what you just did was incredible, because you're absolutely right. It was a history teacher that got me involved with Mata UN, and now I'm a state assemblyman. Who, by the way, was chair of the education committee at the time as well. So that's the reality of things. You can't have it both ways. You either have to pay for the programs, pay for the staffing to keep the quality of education, or you don't pay for it and you're going to have these cuts. And no pulling punches. Your education system and your programs are going to go to pot. I got to watch what I say, it's public. All right, that's the reality of things. Listen, like I said on Thursday night, we're all taxpayers, we all hate to pay taxes. But the demands of the public were cut taxes. 12% is too high, I get it. Especially with the rising costs of everything. I like Mr. Romano's things about the McDonald's fries, by the way. I said that. I don't do Starbucks, but cut off that Starbucks coffee once a week, and you probably say what your increase per day in taxes are. You know, there's little sacrifices you can make. And that's the reality of things. The kids deserve better. Listen, Dr. Aldarelli and Mr. Toth are top-notch. I said it the other night. I work along with them. I've worked with a number of superintendents over the years, board members. They're doing their due diligence here. They're doing what you're asking. They're putting out what these are the things to make things work. You know, maybe if it's not 12% to 6%, 10%, maybe 9%, you won't have some of these drastic cuts. In fact, I know originally the talk was 6.5%. Just go about from going 6.5 to 6% costs you about $1.25 million. Right, Mr. Toes? I can see you shaking your head, yes. That's the reality. 0.5% costs you another 1.25. What does that mean? That means at a starting teacher's salary, without the benefits, that's 20 teachers. That's 20 teachers. That's the reality. So think about it, board. I know it's a tough job. You're not in an enviable position. You have to make a tough decision here. I still believe because of the duration of what this is going to be, cutting the budget down to 6%, not keeping it at 12 or something in between is a mistake. I hope I don't come back and say I told you so again. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes? No. Nancy. Elizabeth, yeah. You can go after her.
Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle. We could be here all night talking about cuts and what could be and what can't be. But I always think of it, if we take money out of one pocket, it's going to be going into another pocket. Or if we put money in one pocket, it had to come out of another. This morning I was getting my nails done, and there was a girl sitting behind me with her children going to pre-K. And she said it was up to $21,000 a year that she had to pay for her 2 children to go to pre-K. And I thought to myself, whoa. I turned around and I said to her, wow, my daughter is saving a lot of money because my husband and I watch her children. But I stayed home to take care of my children until they were in an upper grade. So I didn't go start teaching until later in life. And I realized for all those years, I wasn't getting paid. And then when I retired, my pension was a lot less than somebody that had the chance of teaching all those years. But that was my choice. But what we're coming up against now is we're cutting some spots, and it's going to be hurtful to some people. But at the same time, let's figure out how much are we actually saving by making cuts. Because if you're cutting it one place, the money's coming out somewhere else. And my biggest fear right now is if this board votes no for this budget, where does it go for a decision? And after that, I come back to nightmares of many years ago when it was voted down and it was brought back that the council of our town made a very big cut, even more to our budget, which is going to hurt so many other things. So yes, we have a tremendous increase, even at the 12%, even at 6% going up. But we have to realize, what is it actually paying for? My children aren't in school anymore, but I'm not going to complain because my children went through Edison and it was a good school system and my children benefited from it. So yes, we look at how much you're paying for this person and that person. I can remember years ago looking at Dr. Caprero and saying, it's not a little rinky-dink district anymore, Doc. You're going to have to spread your wings and hire more people. And as the population grew, we knew we had to. But Edison has always been on the lower end of our ratios compared to other districts in the state of New Jersey. And we need to take all of this into consideration as to where we want to go. When I'm looking at the budget and seeing how much it costs, we're a service organization. That's our goal. And our service is to our children and to our district. And when we look at the assessment of our homes, that's just our assessment for the taxes. It's not what our house is worth. And if the town ever decides to reassess our district, we're in trouble. And if the state turns around and says, Edison, you can't afford it. You can afford to pay more. Look at the value of your district. Your value is higher than these other districts. Well, because we're so good, they're almost hurting us because we're good. So please make a decision that's right for our district. Because remember, what happens if you say no to this? And what happens if you say no to pre-K? Is anything can be done for the benefit of the children learning? I know a lot of people will say, well, they only do it for, I've heard a few people say, oh, they only want the pre-K because it's free daycare. No, it's really not free daycare. It's an early education that you can never take back. So truly look and see what you can do. I know subscription busing has always been a thorn, that it needs to pay for itself. Well, you're going to need to step up and do that. Because with the price of gas, you better jump on it quick, because it's well over $4 a gallon now. So you need to take into the consideration, even if you raise it, it may not be enough. So I truly think about what you're doing. What's the best decision? Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. O'Reilly, do you want to address some of the things that you're planning for pre-K? I know it's not final. Share whatever you can.
Yeah, so, I mean, what we're worried about currently, right, in relationship to pre-K is our current 3-year-olds that are going to be 4-year-olds for next year, right? And the understanding that, you know, they could be potentially they will be without a program next year. So, you know, at our upcoming special education meeting, we are going to look to propose some alternative pathways to house these students in some of our integrated programs, and talk with the members of that committee in order to hopefully put something forward where, you know, we're still able to maintain a semblance of a pre-K program, not to the scale of what we currently have or to the scale of what the state expects us to, but something that I think that we can maintain and, you know, plan accordingly for next year, depending upon how circumstances are.
Thank you. Mansi?
Nancy Mathur, 2 Herrick Drive. Thank you, Dr. O'Reilly, to tell us the program or the plan that you have for pre-K. It will be really, really sad that we don't have something instead of like not having a complete full-blown plan, but if we can have something smaller, it will help. Having said that, it saddens me as well as angers me that where we are standing today. Everything was going great for our district. I think in the last 3 years, we have seen such good things happening. We were all having a great time. We were looking at it that it is going well. The last year of my son's till he graduated from high school, we even had an excellent up and running app for our school district, our website, everything is going fine. And now here we are. And why we are here? Because 9 elected board members who are, and for everybody's education, these elected board members are like board of directors for any corporation. Dr. Ederelli and John Toth, who's our BA, is like a CFO. So all these 9 board members are here to work in the best interest or to uphold the best interest of all the shareholders and the stakeholders in this, on this platform. And in our case, the stakeholders and shareholders are teachers, kids who go to the school, and the parents or the taxpayers. Sadly, I think they have disappointed or failed all 3 in this case, all 3. Whereas teachers, parents, and kids, we are seeing program cuts, we are seeing job cuts, we are seeing various things happening here. And why we are here? Because the reserves that were there in the school district 3 years ago, they couldn't keep up with it. They thought it's a pot of, bottomless pit. We can just put our hands there, grab money, and keep running with it, and run a campaign on it to sit here on this position. Very, very sad, very sad. As a taxpayer, as a resident, I would request you and also if you all 9 of you can at least apologize to us. Not just to us, but all the stakeholders of Edison Township. It's not nice, it's not funny, and it's really, really, it shows bad on us. Our schools are doing so well. Our town is known for education, and here we are. From where we go from here, I don't know, we don't know, because it looks very, very dark. Because program cuts also result in bringing our rating down and bringing our schools down. So we are here in a big trouble, and this is now from 12 to 6. God knows what will happen next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. Yes.
Chirag Patel, Nottingham Road. So we hear two voices today. As she mentioned, none of them are happy. Some of people are concerned about the pre-K, how it's going to affect the kids, and taxpayer, of course, about the tax rise. I do agree with both of the sections, but none of them are happy. So what does this mean? It means you messed up. You guys didn't do a good job. Sorry if you don't like it, but that's what it means. Now there is a narrative created. What I feel here, this is the first time I'm attending such meeting. I'm a new resident. Narrative created that people who are opposing the tax hike is opposed to the betterment of kids. It is not like that. We chose to live here with a so high price of house because of education system, nothing else. So that's not true. It just that it is mismanaged. I think it's not well thought, not properly thought of like long back. I'm not sure, but someone told me like there was a salary hike. Most of the decisions that you guys took affect directly to the students. If it's true, you guys should have told that we're gonna reverse the salary hike voluntarily. Because in current situation, most of us are working in a private sector. None of us getting the salary hikes. There is a hiring freeze, and even there are a lot of firing. So we have to understand the current situation and act accordingly in all the avenues. Now, another thing that I wanted to say is that no one likes government. That's truth, right? Everyone hates it. There is a reason behind it. And that's what we are seeing right now. Everyone is using AI. I was never using ChatGPT, but nowadays I started using it in my company also. For each department, they have an AI assistant. And they started firing like whole team. So this is a reality. I don't think we're gonna avoid it. It will happen. So did you guys think about using AI for a non-essential job to reduce the budget and help us? And I want to predict something which might be true in future. All the residents will vote in future to have only 2 members here and rest AI assistant. We don't need you guys. If you can't create a good budget which take care of kids' interests, we don't need you 9 members. We just need 2 people who can oversight it, and we will use AI. We will pay good money to ChatGPT or Copilot or whatever. So please be conscious, be aware, this will happen. Believe me, after 5 years, we don't want to see these many people. If they are not concerned and take a good decisions, we don't need you guys. Okay, thank you.
Next. Okay, motion to close.
Motion to close portion.
First up.
You're too far back.
So sorry, excuse me, I've been moving between locations. You gonna ask me for my address?
You know who you are.
I'll give you my address anyway. Currently between 2 locations, 169 Edison Avenue and 3 Bradford Drive. May I speak now? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay. You guys create the problems, then you find the solutions. So I'm pretty sure next year, whoever's running next year is gonna run their campaign that they're gonna fund the preschool, because you guys do that all the time. But you were ready to spend 12%, so you cut 6% out. How much is the preschool gonna cost if you fund it as it is? How much would it cost? Do you know?
Go through all your questions and we'll address what we can.
You guys weren't answering anyone's questions except Ms. Conway's. Anyway, I just find it unbelievable. You guys were going to do a 12% increase. You cut 6% off, but you can't include the kindergarten in there. Is there a reason for that? If you included the kindergarten, would it be an extra percent and a half, 2%? How much would it cost to run the program? Didn't Governor Murphy pass a law saying that you have to fund the preschool program? Doesn't matter. Can you please answer my question? Because when you answer my question, it's going to lead to the next question, and I don't want to stand here for 4 minutes and just bullshit. So can you just answer my question, how much it costs to fund the preschool?
Sir, you can continue your comment and use the remaining 3 minutes and 55 seconds how you wish.
And they can use some of my time to answer my question. It's not a hard question. Off the top of their head, how much does it cost to fund the kindergarten?
Again, you can continue your comment. If the questions can be answered,
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm making my comment. I don't need the commentary from the lawyer. I'm not speaking to you. The board obviously doesn't need legal advice from you at this moment. So can you explain to me why you're even opening your mouth? Can you explain that to me? Don't waste my time. You can talk to me.
You're wasting your own time,
You can talk to me afterward. How much does it cost to fund the preschool?
You go through all the comments.
I'm voting for Joe Romano. When the time comes, I'm voting for Joe Romano because he wouldn't defund the preschool. Absolutely disgusting. Of course these guys want to defund the preschool. I live in a country that we bomb preschools over in Iran. So I don't care if they don't like to hear that. Absolutely disgusting. How much does it cost to fund the preschool? 1 million, 2 million, 3 million? How much does it cost? Certainly, it's not going to cost 6% extra that you guys were ready. How much does it cost? Is it a small amount, a large amount? Because everyone I've spoken to, they don't mind paying a little extra for the preschool. It's the town council members I don't want to get a raise. It's Mayor Sam Joshi I don't want to get a raise. I want to defund the police, quite frankly. Not completely, but they keep giving themselves raises. They don't deserve it. Well, quite frankly, they get promoted for targeting me. So if you want to get promoted, just file false charges against me. How much does the preschool cost? To fund the preschool, how much would it cost? I find it a little ridiculous that, I come to Board of Education meeting. I haven't come here in like a year, 2 years, 3 years. It's a simple question. It's 1 minute, 36 seconds left. And you can't simply answer how much it costs to fund the preschool. It's not hard. I'm just going to assume none of you know it. Because normally when someone knows something, they're very quick to answer. Lawyer, do you know? Now I'm talking to you. Do you know how much it costs?
Please address all your questions here.
Through the chair to the lawyer. Lawyer, do you know how much it costs to fund the preschool? Would you like to answer my question for me?
You can choose to continue using your time.
And I'm going to do that. I'd get better freaking responses from ChatGPT than you guys. I think it wouldn't even be more than 1.5%. How much does it cost to fund the preschool? Ask Sam Joshi that question. Well, I don't need to ask Sam Joshi that question because these are the guys that are going to vote upon it. And many of us residents, we don't mind to pay for the pre-K as it is. So I hope you guys vote yes to it. I'm a little bit disgusted that we can't simply answer, it's going to cost $3 million, it's going to cost $3.5 million. I don't understand that.
Thank you. Dr. O'Reilly.
Oath.
Yes.
Cost for the board.
Where do I want to say something?
Oh,
I just
hold
came
on,
here.
Hold on. Let him answer, please.
Yes, the local share, meaning the board's responsibility for pre-K, would be roughly about $3.75 million. Thanks.
And how much
Your time
extra
is up.
percent would
Your
that
time
be?
is up, please.
Percentage-wise,
Please
how
be
much
seated.
would that be?
So that's probably about, in that 1.5, 1.75%. It's a pretty good guesstimate.
Mohin, you're next.
Sorry, I was at the gym. I just got here, so I'm just going to make it brief. I don't know what you guys discussed before, but from the previous meeting, I know you had some Sam's clowns here that came here last time and basically said, we don't want this budget. We don't want to pass this. The same clowns that are going to run for Board of Education this year are going to be here trying to advocate for the students while you're going to cut their budget, while you're going to cut their programs, while you're going to cut their kindergarten, while you want to cut their ACs. That's BS. And I have some board members here that were just complaining last meeting, that why don't we send this to the county and let them disregard the budget? Let them do that. You went from 12 to 6. I commend you for doing that. For the past 5 years, you didn't raise the budget. You had 0% increase for the past 5 years. Now that we don't have the money, you're raising it because you have to. Not because you want to, because you have to. And the reason why these clowns that come here for Sam and all these guys, they want to put it on your head. You raising your budget and raising your taxes, they want to put it on your head while they go ahead in closed sessions, raise the township rate by 9.5%. And then you want to go, you don't go there. Why don't you go to the township and complain there? Why is he raising the budget over there, the taxes, and you don't want to go complain there? Because you're getting something out of it. Either a ethic board position or the county position, because you guys are greedy for yourselves. You don't think about the students. You don't give a shit about the students.
Mohin.
So don't even tell me. No,
Mohin, please
I have
just
my time.
language.
All right.
Please address it.
So he wants to raise the rate at municipal building at 9.5%. You have some of the people here that are his minions that are going to come here and advocate for that. You should be advocating for the students. The students. That's your responsibility. And if it's 6.5% or 7.5%, it's for the students. The reason why all of you guys moved to this town is because of the education system. Don't knock it when it's needed, all right? The township is wasting your money away left and right, but you don't go and care about that shit. So, in conclusion, all I'm going to tell you is this. Pass the budget, do whatever you need to do for our students, period. That's the reason why you're sitting in that seat, first and foremost. So 6.5% is nothing. For the past 5 years, they raised it to 0. 0. And if they're asking for 6.5, what does that mean? The township raised it 14.5%. You didn't do shit about it. You didn't say anything about it.
Sir, I'm going to have to remind you.
The core of my ass.
Sir,
all right?
sir,
please.
I have to remind you, please.
Please.
So I get frustrated because you're here advocating against the students, and that is foul. All right? No.
Mohin, please address it here.
Please direct your comments to the chair.
Sure, thank you.
Down,
Sorry
yeah.
about that.
Let's calm down.
I'm animated for my students, for my kids that go to this school, all 18,000 students by the time they're done. You have 19 buildings you got to take care of, 20, 21. You're adding to the value of the homes in this town. So if you have to raise it for the students, and that's okay. Your values are increasing because of that. When you sell your home for $1 million, where is that coming from? It's because of the education system right here. They're moving here because of that. They're spending $1 million on those homes because of that. You're making the money out. So stop complaining about it. You want to complain, go to the township where you have nothing given for you. You have potholes still in the road.
Please direct your comments to the chair.
All right. So if you want to talk about increases, make sure your faces are in the township when they're increasing your rate by 9.5%. Will you say something then? No, because your positions are all in line for that. Because you want something from the mayor. You're getting a position here, ethic board there, bullshit that. So at the end of the day, do what is right for the students. That's the reason why you're sitting in those seats. Don't be knocking out because there's someone that wants to get a position in the township or you're going to run for something else. Monty was right here before. She wants to run for the Board of Education coming up this year. So he's here in complaining. So enough is enough. Vote yes to the budget. Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to close public portion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So next one is President's report. So I want to genuinely, thank all the board members for the time and energy they have spent over the last 7-8 weeks. I know it has not been, easy. I want to recognize Mr. Jerry Shee, who is not here, who spent countless hours, even though when I was out of country, he was making calls and suggesting ideas to make this work. Ms. Sharon Pang, who has spent countless hours. And keep your head up high. It was not an easy choices for us to make, and all of us together had made some choices. So keep your head up and chin up. I believe this budget protects core instructions, classroom instructions, while ensuring the long-term financial sustainability of the district. And I ask all the board members to vote today and make a decision by keeping students' success at the center of it and stand by it. Thank you. Superintendent's comments?
Thank you very much, Board President Patel. Good evening, ladies and gents. Just a couple of announcements and accolades and a couple items that are on the agenda. First of all, I wanted to wish congratulations to our ACE Mentor Program team who participated in the Construction Industry Roundtable National Design and Construction Competition this past Monday in Washington, D.C. Special congratulations to Miss May and the team for their first place finish. In addition, one of our students actually won the Mark A. Casso Memorial Scholarship Award for $10,000. So we're thrilled to announce that our teacher advisor as well, Ms. May, has been chosen to serve on the board of directors, which will provide increased opportunities and firsthand internships, which I know is a mission for this board as well as our students. So thank you, Ms. May. Thank you, and congratulations on the students. I think they deserve a round of applause in relationship to that, right? We also remember, yeah, it's great. Thank you so much. This week also we celebrate Teacher Appreciation Week and National Nurses Week. We recognize these two groups that are essential to the district operation here. I want to say something to our phenomenal teachers and our support staff and everybody kind of that makes the wheels go around here in Edison. You are the heart and soul of our schools. Thank you for inspiring curiosity, nurturing the potential in every single student. Your commitment makes a profound difference in the lives of our children, and it's a pleasure to work alongside of you each and every day. To our, you can clap at that one too, that's a good one. And to the most popular office in every single school, to our school nurses, thank you for serving as the front line of our health champions. Your expertise and compassion are essential in maintaining a safe and healthy and nurturing learning environment. Thank you so much for the work that you do. And that concludes my report for today, Mr. Patel.
Thank you, Doc. Next section is public comments for resolutions only. Yep. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Am I recognized?
Name and address, please.
Now you want my name and address? I
missed it. I missed it the first time. Come on.
I gave two of you guys addresses before and you didn't stop. You want your address again? I'll give you your address.
Yes, please.
Okay. 169 Edison Avenue and 3 Bradford Drive, and sometimes 9 Finch Court. When I'm in a good mood, I'm really at 9 Finch freaking Court. Hell yeah. That's Jerry's address. So, hell yeah. Where the hell are the resolutions? What page? I don't know what any of the resolutions are, but I want to talk about them. I certainly want to talk. I'm against every one of them. Every freaking one of them. What page are they on? 11, thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much. God bless you. I can't even tell the freaking page numbers. There is no page number. Just
Page 2 through to the end.
2 to the end?
2 to the end.
Thank God bless you. Thank you. I'm against all of them except funding the kindergarten. Is the kindergarten on there?
Preschool.
Preschool, yeah.
Last page.
Last page? Well, we're going to fund that because we want to fund that. 1.5% increase is not that bad. Or rather, we increase it on this side than that corrupt Mayor Sam Joshi, all right? So let's increase on this side, because the more we increase on this side, he's going to be like, shit, I can't really increase it as much as I wanted to, so he's going to have to makes him look bad, right? So, yes, we want the 1.5 increase to go to preschool. Because I haven't heard not one resident say they didn't want it. I only heard you guys say you don't want to fund it. Through the chair to Mr. Toth. Mr. Toth, I forgot. What did you say before? 3 million? You said 1.5 increase. And it was what, 3 million?
3.75.
Yeah, that's not bad either. That's not. Do you guys know how much Sam Joshi's freaking spending over there? How much money he's wasting over there? No, you don't care. 3.75 million's not too bad. We have 100,000 residents. You know, it's not that bad. So. Eric, I was going to give your address. I don't want to give your address. I don't want to get beat up when I get out of here. All right? So I didn't give your freaking address. Okay? And yeah, we can't fund things like there's a lot of things that I want to say, but I'm limited in saying them because I'm somewhat at a gag order, kind of a gag order. We'll wait 60 days from now. We'll wait 90 days from now, when multiple victories head my way, but, you know, we're losing money on the subscription busing because you guys are just people who qualify for the busing. You're not giving them bus passes. People who don't qualify for the buses, you give them bus passes, you call them your constituents, you promise their family members votes, okay? And none of this is theoretical. It's all been proven, okay? No names, so we're losing money on the busing side because of you guys. Because you guys order certain members within the transportation department just issue freaking bus passes to everyone that doesn't qualify. Meanwhile, those who do qualify had to wait almost a year, even if their busing issues got resolved, and many of them didn't. So you're losing money on that. You're complaining you don't want to do 1.5% increase on the preschool. Are you guys going to reconsider that? You don't have to answer that till later, but we want it. And yeah. I'm against every single resolution, though. Oh, shit, this ain't the town council. All right, just pass the one with the preschool. We're going to pass the one with the preschool. And we're going to remember, I'm going to watch when election season comes up, and I'm going to see who's running this year. I don't even know who's running, but whoever is running, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to, the first thing you're going to put on your campaign promise is you're going to fund the preschool. So again, you guys create the problems, you find the solutions. Who's running this year? Whose time's up on that board? You know, Vishal? Whose time's up on the board? You don't know? Simple question. Okay. To the lawyer, Chair to the lawyer, what do you think about a 1.5% increase? Do you have an opinion
I think
on
if
that?
you have any more comments regarding the resolutions on the agenda, you have 11 seconds to make those comments.
You don't have an opinion? You don't have an opinion on the 1.5% increase? Your opinion wouldn't have mattered to me anyways. I just wanted to, thank you. I'll be
Thank
back
you.
up.
Joyce.
Oh, God.
I would like to speak about 2 resolutions, starting with Teacher Appreciation Week. I think we should applaud our teachers because teaching is not like it used to be. It's a very hard job. When I grew up, whatever the teacher said was right. You went to school to learn. You didn't bring all this electronic devices. You didn't have all this other stuff going on. So I just want all the teachers to know that a lot of us believe in you. A lot of us know how hard your job is, and we appreciate everything you do. We appreciate the long hours that you do, because everybody thinks your job is from like 7 to 3. They don't understand the hours and stuff you put into planning, the hours and stuff you put into extracurricular, the hours and stuff you spend into talking to some students who would just love somebody to listen to them and pay attention to them. And I also would like to thank the nurses, because that nurse's job is much, much harder than it used to be, and it's going up more and more each year, because they have to handle more things than they did in the past. In the past, they may have had a nosebleed or something small, but right now, they have like the heart defibrillators, they have so much other stuff that they have to be aware of. They have to be aware of children's allergies, the EpiPens, right? So I applaud you wholeheartedly, and I just wish the nurses and the teachers the best of everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Motion to close public portion.
There we go.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So the next thing is, during the caucus meeting, we tabled the termination of Talmadge Road acquisition, so we need a motion to untable that. So do I have a motion to untable Talmadge Road acquisition resolution from last meeting?
Yes, motion on table.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
All right, so this is to untable. Mr. Azzarello.
No.
Mr. Errico.
No.
Mr. Ronak Patel.
Yes.
Mr. Lugo.
Yes.
Ms. Anjana Patel.
Because our last meeting I missed some information and I needed more information, so for on table, no.
Ms. White.
Yes.
Ms. Peng.
No.
Mr. Patel.
Yes.
Motion fails.
Thank you. Next is motion to approve the budget. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
I'll second it. Vote, please.
Mr. Azzarello.
Yes.
Mr. Errico.
No.
Mr. Ronak Patel.
Yes.
Mr. Lugo.
No.
Ms. Anjana Patel.
Yes.
Ms. White.
No, but I would just like to add this. The reason why I'm voting no is because of the staff reductions. That bothers me terribly, and some of the program cuts, and that is the reason why I'm voting no.
Ms. Peng.
Yes.
President Patel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Motion to approve personnel.
Motion.
Okay, second.
Second.
Mr. Azzarello.
Yes.
Mr. Errico.
Yes on everything, no on Donald Merker.
Noted. Mr. Ronak Patel.
Yes.
Mr. Lugo,
Yes.
Ms. Anjana Patel,
Yes.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Ms. Peng,
Yes.
President Patel.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Motion to approve administration, curriculum and instruction, and pupil special services.
Motion.
Oh, curriculum and instruction?
I'll second it.
Mr. Azarello,
Yes.
Mr. Errico.
Yes.
Mr. Ronak Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Lugo,
Yes.
Ms. Anjana Patel,
Yes.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Ms. Peng,
Yes.
President Patel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion to approve finance.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Azarello,
Yes.
Mr. Errico,
Quick question to the board president. Is that number 14?
15.
15. 15. Where's 15?
It's 14.
It's 14.
I don't see a 15. Here, 14. Finance report?
yeah, finance report.
So it's finance report?
Yeah, it's 14. Yes.
Okay, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Ronak Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Lugo,
No.
Ms. Anjana Patel,
Yes.
Ms. White,
No.
Ms. Peng,
Yes.
Mr. Vishal, or President Patel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. The next is the public comments.
What?
Anyone? Okay. Do I have a motion to
Motion to
close?
close? Motion to close?
Okay, go ahead, Chris. Yeah, thank you.
Comments again.
Sir.
9 Finch Court. I've always lived on 9 Finch Court. Am I recognized?
And name?
My name?
Yeah.
My name is everybody's name. Am I recognized?
Yes.
Thank
go
you.
for it.
I really don't understand why we can spend $9 billion on a plot of land, but you can't even fund the preschool. You'd be able to fund that preschool for 2 years, okay? It's not the Board of Education's, you're not the zoning board, okay? We know Sam Joshi's corrupt. We know they're building houses everywhere. But to just spend the money that's meant for the kids, all right? So that $9 million was to be spent on programs, enlarging the classrooms, whatever, for the teachers, whatever it may be. Yet you guys took that $9 million to purchase a plot of land, okay? Because you guys didn't want, you guys said, oh, we were going to have more students. But let's be quite frank. The majority of you live in North Edison, okay? And you guys just wanted to use the Board of Education funds so this way apartment buildings weren't built in your neighborhoods. That's really what it is. So you guys are building mini mansions over there, okay? But you guys freak out if there's an apartment building, a condominium gonna be built. You guys say, oh, they're gonna flood our schools with more kids. And then you complain that the state cut our funding because we don't have enough kids enrolling in the schools. So it's like we're in the twilight zone over here, you know? Did you guys take the vote for the preschool? Because I wasn't really paying attention. Did you take the vote for the preschool? Are you going to fund the preschool? It's a shame that you guys aren't going to fund the preschool. We live in a society today where we would rather cheer bombing little girls in their preschools, okay? Rather than funding the preschools for the little kids. It's all right, it's a sick society. It's the twilight zone we're living in. Every day that goes by, more and more Americans are now realizing that the politicians that they've been appointing have been vampires this whole time. It's not my opinion, it's out in the open. The government can't cover it up no more. I'm going to wait when there's less. I'm going to wait when these meetings are almost no parents, whatever, because I want to talk about what happened in Sayreville with the Sayreville High School janitor. I'll save that for next time. But, you know, you guys are very disgusting people. $9 million for a piece of land, okay, that has no function for the school. Even if you were to build something on it in the future, none of the funds for the BOE should have ever went to that. None of the funds for the BOE should have ever been built for those freaking cricket fields, okay? I'm disgusted in those cricket fields. If I had the choice, I would burn down every freaking cricket field. I would take a bulldozer. I would bulldoze those freaking cricket fields. I wish Jerry was here because he really likes the cricket fields. I'm just disgusted at what you guys do. And then we have members of the public complaining, hey, we have too much white people being hired. You know, in society, if you're qualified to do the job, you're going to get hired. They just want people to be hired with less qualifications. Let's be quite frank. They want people to be hired from their own religion, from their own country. They call it DEI. This is racism. This is reverse racism. Okay? A lot of these teachers that you call white teachers, they've been here before you guys even moved here. And so that's what we're going to do every year. We got forced gentrification. We got reverse gentrification here in Edison, New Jersey, where the whites, the blacks, the Latinos, we're being pushed out by a certain minority group of people. We don't complain about it. We welcomed everybody. But now that you guys become the majority, you guys show your muscles. When it's one person, they're your best friend. When it's two people, they're your best friend. Wait when it's 20 of them. Wait when it's 25 of them. Wait when they become the majority. Then you're going to see their true face. Then they're going to start showing their quote-unquote muscles. They're going to refuse bus passes to the kids that are qualified for them. But then the kids that don't qualify for the bus passes, we're going to give those kids the bus passes. We're going to lose the money. Why? Because we all go to the same temple. That's disgusting. That's what racism really is, okay? It's discrimination. The Edison Board of Education has for many years, at least 7+ years, I've been watching this discrimination go on. And then be accused of being racist for observing, for noticing this reverse racism. I'm sick of it. I'm disgusted by it. And you shouldn't worry if the teacher's white, black, Latino. If they're qualified, let them stay.
Thank you. No, Matt. Not you, Matt. Sorry.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nimesh Dave, 13 Remington Drive. I guess President is not here, so I'm going to address to Vice President.
Yes.
Ms. Shen Peng, the first question and the concern actually I have on behalf of the residents is that many of us asked several questions. They raised genuine concerns, and they were told that at the end, before we vote for whatever you're going to vote, we will be answering those questions or concerns. But I would like to have it on official record of yours that none of those questions or concerns were answered. And that is very, very disappointing. The second thing I would like to bring it to your attention is about April 23rd meeting, where a president almost lost us $1 million lawsuit. And that is very irresponsible. And I'll explain why and how. The lawyer, the attorney who was representing a board at that time, he issued a very confusing statement to an innocent citizen like me that I can and cannot speak on certain public comments, which made me think that I cannot speak on a talmage land. And he very creatively put that statement so that we got confused and we did not ask those questions. In fact, my request to the board is that you guys have an authority to stop such kind of a behavior. And I sincerely request all of you that next time, please don't hire such attorneys, because at the end of the day, it's our money you are putting at stake. And I sincerely request you to keep this in mind. The third point I would like to bring is about my communication with BA. Now, this question is not directly directed to Mr. Toth. However, this question is directed to the president and the vice president and the entire board. A conversation email which was forwarded to me pertaining to reclassification of the land, where he in fact forwarded me the email of a very casual conversation he had. And mind you, I'm repeating my statement, very casual conversational email he had with Leo, if I'm not wrong, asking him, hey, can we reclassify this? And he responded, no, under NJ, blah, 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 we cannot reclassify this. My understanding, and based on whatever discussion I had with my lawyers and the lawyers of other townships who represent education board, they said, this is not the way it works. You have to file a formal petition kind of a thing. For a lack of a better term, I'm going to use the word petition. This question is not for Mr. Toth. The question is for the board. I very openly offered you my services of the people of this town, that, hey, if you cannot make this happen, tell me. I will bring 1,000 people in front of the door of those who can make a decision. Why did you not step up? This is disappointing. This is absolutely disappointing. So my question is not to him. My question is to the board. You guys have been voted by us, and you are not fulfilling your responsibilities. This is absolutely disappointing. The third and most important point about a Talmadge Road land. $9 million decision, in my opinion, not only just my opinion, but the opinion of thousands of people, I have submitted a petition, is that it's a reckless decision. The land is not developable at all. One of the respected board member here is saying that I have not studied it. What was she doing? Was she sleeping from 23rd to 28th? Looks like that. That is disappointing. $30 to $40 million of an additional expense on the top of it. Wow. You guys are simply playing with our money. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Now, 1 minute and 55 seconds I'm going to use to chant this thing. Whoever has tabled it, shame on you. 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 Resign, 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 resign. Shame on you, shame on you, shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. Resign, 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 resign,
Nimesh,
resign.
it's not productive. I'm sorry. Thank you.
One last time. Shame on you, shame on you, shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. Okay. Motion to close public.
Oh,
Motion to close public comment.
I think Matt.
Oh, Matt, sorry. I didn't see it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Matt.
Mullen.
Oh, come on.
Mullen's quick.
Okay, we have people coming here trying to tell you what is right. I'm addressing you guys. We have people coming here from the township where they're sent out here like minions to come and complain about what you're doing. But what they want to do is put a blind eye to what the township has done to go and increase your taxes. Every year, the township increases $20 million by getting bonds. When you go and get $20 million in bonds, guess what happens? You're paying interest on that. By now, we have over $100 million in bonds that the township has already taken out, and you're paying for it, but none of you guys have gone to the township to complain about $20 million every year that they're taking out in loans by getting those bonds down. But you want to come here and complain about a 6% increase that is happening after 5 years of 0% increase. Shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. resign, resign, resign. Why don't you chant that in the township? For the past 5 years, they increased your tax by 14.5%. You didn't go there and chant your shame on you and resign to the sham, but you come here at this board and take it out on our students. The reason why you bought a house in this town is because of this school system. Plain and simple. The reason why your value in your homes are up is because of this school system. If you don't like it, go to South Plainfield or somewhere else and try to buy a house there. Right? You won't do it because you love the school system here so much that you don't want to spend the money on it. After so many years, we actually would have made this high school and the other high school and all the other schools so great, but we had board members back then playing politics as well. They refused to build this school when it was almost zero in interest. We could have saved so much money. We had funding from the state at that time too. And for $89 million, you would have had a brand new freaking high school. But you didn't do it. Then we're going to move into Edison High School. Then what did you do? Instead of building classrooms, you built freaking gymnasiums. You wasted our money then too. The township wasted their money. They built 2 turfs for double the cost that you did for 1 turf. It is so egregious that you come here and complain about our students getting what they want, but when the sham does all his crap over there in the township, you don't want to go complain because you're fat and happy with your position that you got in the Middlesex County or in the freaking ethics board or somewhere else. And then you want to come and play politics here with our students because you want to run for an office, and this way you have a talking point when you run. That's all BS. Stop playing politics with our kids. Give them what they need, the services they deserve, and be happy that your values are going up because of the school system instead of whining and moaning about this shit. I will say it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Shivi Allison Court. 2 things. First, is there a way that you guys can reduce the volume of the speaker when somebody yells at the mic because it's very hurtful to the ear? Second, when people are talking...
Sir, please do not disturb her when she's making her comment. She didn't interrupt you when you made your comment.
Thank you so much. And the second, when a speaker comes and speaks here, you need to remind the speaker that they're speaking to you guys. They're not speaking to the audience. Third, and the reason why I came here, is that the placement criteria. It's a very important piece of information that is shared with students and families at the beginning of the year. And students work very hard through the year to make sure that they're meeting all the criteria so that they can go into the class that they have chosen to or they want to go. Now, especially in middle school, because there's a track, when students get into the pre-algebra track, it's much easier for them to get to the Calculus BC in 11th grade, which is so important. All the premier colleges look for Calculus BC on a child's resume. Now, if you don't get into the pre-algebra track, it becomes very hard to get to that Calculus BC. And now, many students in 6th grade are being told retroactively that there is a problem with Edmonton, and it went and kind of recalibrated everything. And even though the Edmonton score is showing that they should get into pre-algebra, they are being told, sorry, you're not getting into pre-algebra. So if somebody could, Dr. Elrelli, if somebody could take a look and make sure that students who worked hard to be in a certain level, if they're meeting all the criteria, they should be able to get into that course. And that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Dr. O'Reilly? Comments on that?
Yeah, absolutely, especially in relationship to the criteria. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, and I will follow up in relationship to that.
Thank you. Matt?
Matt Rebnacki, ETA President. Just a couple things of good nature. First of all, last week, Wednesday, we had what's called the Friends of Education dinner over with Middlesex County Union. And 2 people from our district were recognized. First of all was our teacher of the year from this year, Pam Eng. But also, and I was very proud to nominate, and she was the winner of the Friends of Education ESP Community Award, which was Patricia Coletto. Not only for what she's given to our district and the county, she's actually been the county secretary for a number of years, but her involvement with the Hands of Hope program here in Edison, with all the charitable events that they have, things like gift cards for the children and toys and all for Christmas and for Thanksgiving, etc. So again, those are the 2 great people from our district that were acknowledged. This Thursday, we have the ETA Read Across America Award Ceremony. I know Dr. Aldarelli will be coming. I did invite him, as always. So thank you for coming on Thursday, Dr. Aldarelli. We'll give you a couple minutes to say some things. But again, it's a great event to acknowledge our artists that do the Read Across America in coordination with the reading of the books and all. And we have a nice little event, 6 o'clock at Ben Franklin School. We actually give out gift cards to 2 winners at each grade level, 3 at the high schools total. And we have a little bit to eat, pizza and stuff like that. So it's a wonderful night. Next, on June 4th, you guys will be getting an invitation, just to let you know, keep it open, and hopefully you respond promptly. They'll be coming out soon for our ETA retirement dinner, where we acknowledge all of our, people that are retiring, and not only our ETA members, but we also invite all the members, custodians, administrators, etc. So as always, board members and central administration and all your invites will be coming out very shortly. Finally, I do want to mention again, thank you again for acknowledging Teacher Appreciation Week coming up and Nurses Appreciation Week. I am very proud to be the president of the association that represents our teachers, our support staff, which includes our nurses as well. As far as I'm concerned, we have the finest group of people that work for us in the state of New Jersey, and it shows with the results that our people do put out. I did appreciate what Ms. Shipp said before, Shipp Freeman. People don't realize what's involved as an educator. I always said the easiest part of my job was when I was in the classroom. It was all the time and effort that I put in prior to and in the evenings, preparing for my lessons, getting things together, grading papers, creating projects and worksheets, talking to parents, talking to students. So it's all those other things. And I know a couple of you up there have been involved or are involved in education. You know what I'm talking about. And for our nurses, as was mentioned, it is the sort of nice place to go, safe place to go. But I always, in many schools when I visit the nurses. And it's wonderful to see, again, the relationship they have with the students, especially at the elementary level, where they have those little scrapes on their knees from the playground and, things like that. So, I do thank all of the people I represent, our teachers and our nurses, and wish them, and thank them for their time and efforts, and wish them a great week in acknowledgement of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Good evening. My name is Carrie Coletto, and I'm a proud special education teacher at James Monroe. Teacher Appreciation Week is next week, and it feels especially meaningful this year. Since the initial budget announcement in March, our teachers have been carrying a lot more than usual. Our non-tenured staff have been facing uncertainty about their jobs. Others have been navigating concerns about transfers. And through it all, the rumors, public backlash, and all the noise on social media, they've continued to show up with consistency, care, and heart. Every single day, they walk into their classrooms with patience, resilience, and a commitment to their kids that doesn't waver. They continue to smile, to support, and to give their students what they need, no matter what's happening around them. So to our staff, I want to say thank you. No matter what happens in the days ahead, please know that your work is seen, valued, and deeply appreciated. Keep showing up, keep giving these kids everything you have. You make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Harish.
Harish Thatineni, 45 McKinley Street. So I was watching online, and I think most of my questions were covered. Regarding the pre-K, I forgot to mention in the last meeting, there was one lady who made a very sensible point. Is it by any chance possible to continue the pre-K through the state program only for the low-income group, the underprivileged group? And if so, how much will it cost? So some numbers might have to be run. And my understanding was this, that after COVID, there was the study done for early learning loss, as they say, and it was most pronounced in the underprivileged low-income group who really need the pre-K. For them, pre-K is a need, it's not a want. So that is one thing that we can run the numbers on and see. Again, I don't know the legal issues. I can just throw out ideas. 50% of them might not work. I understand that. I had 2-3 more, trying to remember. So anyway, so the Talmadge land, we are allowed to talk, right? So, I mean, I have a completely different take on that. Not many people agreed with me on the social media, but it is what it is. I mean, see, I didn't marry my wife because my greatest enemy was in love with her and I wanted him to make him feel bad. I married my wife because I really liked her. So, applying the same analogy, we should not be buying Talmadge land to stop the apartments or something of that sort. When it comes to that stage, we will, last time there were 200 of us in the council meeting, this time it will be 500. Some people didn't bother to show up for whatever reasons. I don't want to talk about them and their reasons, but we had enough strength to make it happen. Same with the Charlie Brown townhomes. So again, I'll repeat the boring thing which I mentioned on social media several times, and most of you read it. Some of you may not be aware. We need a proper discounted cash flow analysis with the right assumptions to show that whatever project we are picking, let it be the special ed for the severe cases where we spend $60K per child for sending outside, because special ed as it is, it's very complicated. Not many people can do it. There is shortage and all those things, transportation, whatever. Or the sports bubble, or, I mean, right now there are like half a dozen ideas floating and nobody knows what's happening. And there's a lot of frustration regarding this lack of transparency and all. So hopefully in the next BOE meeting, we can have a proper qualitative and quantitative analysis of whatever project we are trying to do on Talmadge land. I can help with that. But it is a lot of work because we need to get the right comparables, right discount rate. We need to get the right cash flow revenues. Putting in the cost items is much more easier. So we need to do that before we can say yes or no. That is my take. I mean, as I said, not many people liked my stand. Most people were thinking that this $9 million can be applied towards the operations budget and be reduced to 2%, which we knew a long time back was not possible. So the pre-K, the Talmadge, so now that the AC is cut, where's my best friend? He left. Oh, see? Okay. I thought you were ignoring me, John. Anyway, so for 2 years I have been trying to get this thing done. So the fans, summer is coming. So we are back in business with the fans. So next BOE meeting, can we get the accurate number? How many ordered, how many installed in which school? I think 50% of the problems are due to lack of transparency. And it would be of great help if either the BOE members or superintendent or BA, either in the BOE meeting or on the social media, you guys can answer. That will help you win the trust of the people. When you don't answer, even when you know the answer, people are thinking, oh, that there must be something suspicious, he's hiding. And one thing leads to other. So next BOE meeting, can we have some more details about this pre-K for underprivileged? How much will it cost? Is it doable, legally possible? Fans, then the complete, pick one or two, maximum 2 projects. And also, I believe you guys are already talking to the experts regarding the flood area, wetlands, and all that, whatever grocery deeds and everything. Is it even possible? If not possible, there's nothing wrong in backing out. On the township side, when the Comcast came, a mayor said goodbye to the municipal broadband, and I supported him. Because that is the right decision. We don't want to waste money. If something is not possible, let's cancel it. But if something is possible, you have to be transparent because this time is crucial. Every penny counts. Thank you.
Mo, you already spoke once, so yeah. No rebuttal. Sorry. Anyone else?
Motion to close public portion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Erico?
Yes, I have one question. I was probably a little confused because there's 2 number 14s, and I didn't realize we were voting on 14 through the end of the agenda. I was waiting for the finance report vote. So, in speaking with the attorney,
Yeah, I believe that he would like to set forth a motion to amend his vote on that prior motion.
Yeah,
I believe just as to section 14F.
right. So this is now, should have been 15, correct? So item 15. Can we have a revote from all the board members on 15 or no?
Well, we just need to correct his, right? We don't need to.
Correct yours.
Yes, just to correct yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm voting no on, I'm sorry, I'm making a motion?
Yes, you're making a motion to change your vote to no as to 15F?
I approve it.
F.
Go for
under,
it.
Under grants, yes. So I'm making a motion to amend my vote under F for grants. I'm voting no on us turning away grant money for preschool.
Thank you, Ralph.
I like to do the same.
Okay.
Thank you.
I like to do the same.
Thank you.
I do like to say no. Same, no.
All right, so that's one.
Okay, just to clean this up. All right, we'll do a motion to rescind the previous order as to 15F, and then we'll just do a new vote. So the first vote is to rescind the approval of 15F.
Gotcha.
Because you already approved it.
Right.
So the first vote is to rescind the approval as to that.
Right.
See, I thought the rejection of preschool education was going to be a separate vote.
I thought so.
And I was going to vote no.
Okay, so
So I didn't know it was carried into.
I can't make any motions.
Right. Real quick, I want to make a point of clarification before you rescind or whatever it is you guys are going to do. If you rescind and then you vote and you approve the acceptance of the grant, you don't have funding in the budget for the local share, which means that you're going to have to go back and change the budget.
Correct.
Just so you know that.
Yep. All right. So I'm still rescinding my vote for rejection of preschool education.
Okay. So we need a motion because everybody wants to vote.
Okay, so
I need
everyone's
I need a motion to rescind approval of 15F grants.
Gotcha. So I'm going to make a motion to, I guess, revote on 15F grants.
No.
Motion to what?
A motion to rescind. Rescind the approval of 15F grants.
Motion to rescind 15F grants.
Seconded.
So we have a motion by Ralph. I'm sorry, by Ralph. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll roll call. Mr. Azzarello?
Yes.
Mr. Erico?
Yes.
Mr. Ronak Patel?
We only removing the pre-K.
everything else going to be same, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but if you rescind pre-K, the budget fails because budget is tied with it.
Okay,
We cannot approve the budget and rescind the funding both at the same time.
got it. No.
Okay. Mr. Lugo?
All right, I have to admit, I'm a little confused. My vote is the same as last time,
Yeah.
No.
so it's a no.
Okay.
This isn't the vote on the underlying motion. This is the vote to rescind the approval of the previous motion. So this is you're deciding whether you want to vote again with this vote right now.
To vote again?
That's what the motion on the floor is, to vote again.
No.
Okay.
To accept the pre-K?
Not yet.
Motion
This
on
is
the floor is to vote again.
Just to vote again.
Yeah, let's just vote again, right? I think everybody wants to vote again.
So we're going through the roll call.
Okay.
Miss Anjana Patel,
Yes.
Miss White,
Yes.
Miss Pang,
Yes.
President Patel.
Yes.
Motion carries. Now we will vote again on the pre-K grant and the acceptance of state aid, which will then, okay, here we go. Mr. Azzarello.
So is the motion is to accept the state aid?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you,
Oh, wait.
The motion is
No,
still
no, no.
rejection.
No,
Your rejection.
the motion is written on the agenda is
Rejection.
to approve the rejection of state aid. So if you want to accept the state aid, you're voting no.
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 okay.
We set?
Yep.
Who's making the motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Mr. Azzarello.
Now you got me confused again. Accept the pre-
Can we make this clear a little bit
No.
more? So if there's 4-4 on this vote, right? Then that means this doesn't get passed, and also the budget doesn't get passed.
Not true.
Is that true? Because that means
So if there is a 4-4,
Yes.
the rejection doesn't pass.
Correct.
No, sorry, rejection passes, right? You need 5 votes.
To accept the rejection.
Correct.
Right.
Got it. All right, so if we want to reject it, we're voting no. Or yes. I just want to make sure.
If you're
Russ is not-
rejecting,
If you want to reject, you're voting yes.
Yes.
If you do not want to reject, you're voting no.
Right, so
But Ms. Pang, for clarity, if through the chair, right now, I think what you're asking is, there was a budget vote this evening, which that the budget that was approved does not have pre-K in it, funding from the local share,
it's tied to this.
which in turn would be grant funding as well. We are denying not only the grant funding, but also the Board of Education funding associated with that. Does that answer your question?
yes, but does that
yes, so does everybody understand that? Once we vote on no on rejecting the grant, it means we are failing the budget as well.
we could always increase the budget.
because
Correct. At least for now, we are failing the budget, right? We have until May 14th.
Time out. Technically, you're not failing the budget.
Right.
You're just telling us to take apples and replace them with oranges. You're gonna need basically $3.7 million. You're gonna fund the local share, but you're gonna take it from somewhere else, whether that's, I don't know, that's not $50,000. That's a big move. I mean, so.
So that's okay. Let's vote on it, and then
Okay.
we still have more
Let's see how
time,
vote
right,
goes.
to figure that out, right? You can go on the floor again.
The preschool should have been included with
Right,
the
it
budget.
should have. Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
So we're voting yes to reject. Go ahead. If we're voting yes. I'm not telling how people vote.
That's correct. If you want to reject the grant money, you're voting yes.
Gotcha.
Okay. Mr. Azzarello.
No.
Mr. Errico.
No.
Mr. Ronak Patel.
No.
Mr. Lugo?
No.
Ms. Anjana Patel?
No.
Ms. White?
No.
Ms. Peng?
This point, what's the
Yes.
point?
Yeah.
No, then, because there's no way this is going to pass then.
Yeah. So what's your vote? Sorry for the record.
No, then, this is,
Mr. President Patel?
Yes.
So you're a yes. So the motion will carry. So now this is.
So in the
we're
next
accepting-
meeting, we have to go back to drawing board, and next meeting we come back with something
We,
to figure out.
we have a budget currently,
But we'll have to tell.
but we're gonna.
Yeah, the budget's passed.
From someplace else. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The attorney and Mr. Patel.
That's okay. Board member comments. Hold on.
Wait, there's still-
Oh, we're not done? What are we doing?
We're not
Board
done.
member comments.
We're not down.
All right.
Anyone?
Yeah, I do. Oh, Mr. President.
Yeah, go for it.
I do have a few questions for our business administrator.
Sure.
To help clarify some of the concerns from our community. And John, I don't need you to go to details because I 100% trust your professional judgment. So just a brief answer would be sufficient. So about the land, the Talmadge land, what is the appraisal value of the land?
Off the top of my head, I believe the land appraised for somewhere between $10.4 and $10.6 million, off the top of my head.
Okay, thank you. And we negotiated down to $9 million, right?
Yes, the agreed upon purchase price with the seller was $9 million. That's correct.
Okay, and if this deal is canceled, how much deposit will be lost?
You're going to lose $500,000.
Okay. So we're going to get $8.5 million back to the capital reserve. Can this money be used to pay operational costs, such as salaries, books,
No.
utility bills?
None whatsoever. This will go back into capital reserve for the use for a capital project. We were in no way, shape, or form does this money that comes back help us with the operating budget.
It cannot be used towards the 19, 20
Nothing.
million outlay either, right?
No. So if you look at that capital outlay, of that, $20.5 million, $19.5 million are for capital lease payments. Short-term payments that are classified under the accounting principles that are less than 5 years are funded. They're classified as current expenses, which are funded through the operating budget. So it does not help even with those payments.
Okay, thanks. And if the $8.5 million can be used somewhere, can it be in any way, shape, or form to help cut the 6% budget, to reduce the 6% tax levy any further?
Now, I mean, if the board so choose to terminate this land deal, that $8.5 million is not going to help the operating budget or any of the budgeted items that we talked about tonight. It will simply go back into the capital reserve and sit there until the board takes action on an item in the long-range facilities plan, such as maybe roofing that you can do with that $8.5 million.
Okay.
But those are great questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
So I think we already heard clearly and repeatedly from our administration team that if we cancel the land deal, the $8.5 million goes back to capital reserve, and by law, it cannot be used to offset any operational expense. Therefore, it has zero impact on lowering taxes. So now let's look at the big picture. Most of our budget are salaries and benefit, and by contract, they increase 3 to 5% every year. And by law, we have to pay for that. And our utility bills keeps going up too, right? My own utility bill increased 40% last year. And state aid, it can drop another 6% next year. So what's our plan? Are we planning to have another double-digit tax increase next year or year after that? We need to reduce our operational budget, and that's where this land comes in hand. It gives us two opportunities. One, it prevents the 250 apartments from being built.
and overcrowd our schools. 2, it creates a path for long-term financing for a project such as like a special ed facility. That would cost us about $3 million per year to finance, while saving roughly $15 million annually to help us avoid constant tax increase. Can we ask the audience to be a little quiet? So this is a vision of the board to help the district and the taxpayer in long term. And this only works if the land is buildable, of course. And let me assure you that I will never vote to buy something that we cannot use. I'm sure the board is the same way. But with that said, we still have at least 2 months before closing the deal. No need to rush to act just based on social media speculations and risk losing our $500,000 deposit. We have directed our architect and engineer to review all potential issues and confirm whether the land is developable. If it is not, we can cancel the deal anytime. But with the official report from the professionals, we would have a stronger case to recover the deposit, or part of it at least. And this is $500,000 of taxpayer money that we're talking about. It's not a small amount. We have to be responsible to our children and to our taxpayers. And that's why we need to take some time to make a careful and more informed decision. I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate our JP Orchestra team that won national championship. Very, very proud of them, for the students and their advisors. I also hope that they enjoy the new state-of-art orchestra room that we built in JP. And earlier I saw some kids playing tennis on our brand new tennis courts too. So if you guys have time, if you have children, tour our new 3-story building at JP. This is our new auditorium. And ask your kids, did they see the new classroom? Because we have 70 new classrooms built in the last few years. And did they see the new gyms that in all of our middle schools, the new kitchens, the lockers? That's where the $147 million state aid goes, just in case someone asked. Because everything in our school has a cost. Everything has a price. But I would say seeing our students winning state or national championship titles, or forget about winning, I'm just working on something that they love. I think that's priceless. So thank you, that's all.
Mr. President. Okay, now that we cleared up what the $8.5 million won't do, let's clear up what it can do. So that $8.5 million, and it goes back into capital, that could further the AC, the air conditioning projects in schools, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that could put new roofs on, repairs on roofs on schools, correct?
Yes.
That could buy brand new equipment for the equipment that they just voted to cut, correct? The musical equipment?
Yeah. Yes.
It could actually help update outdated electrical systems or in our schools, correct?
Yes.
It could put fans in our classrooms, correct?
Well, I wouldn't think we're talking about box fans, but I'm thinking about something
So maybe like ceiling fans.
Yeah, I would assume so, depending upon the cost, right? That it's a capital asset. I would think so.
Okay, what about the playgrounds that were cut? Could it cover that?
Yes.
School buses?
Yes.
So there's a lot that we could do with $8.5 million.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Excuse me, sir.
Anyone else, board members?
Thank you.
No,
members.
sir. Sir, please do not interrupt. Sir, please do not interrupt the meeting.
Board members, yes, Ralph,
Yeah.
please.
Couple things. One, to Mr. Lugo's point, I would love to see how he's going to figure out where to put 500 students when those condos are built there. So, I don't know. That'll cost us at least $20 million, $30 million to build, So, he could do all those little great things. He was against air conditioning originally. Now he's for air conditioning. Okay? So, we kind of flip-flop a little bit. Two good news, though. So, The Edison High School baseball team was crowned the Red Division champs today for the first time since 2013. They're going to be one of the top seeds in the GMC and also the #1 seed in Central Jersey Group 4. That's a great accomplishment. Now, those are team accomplishments, but I know Connor Murphy would like nothing else but to win a championship. Connor was named Athlete of the Week for pitching a no-hitter against St. Joe's High School. Great job, Edison High School. Thank you.
Go Connor.
Board President,
Please.
why weren't these items taken care of before? Why are we just worried about bringing $8.5 million from one aspect and covering everything now? Why wasn't this taken care of before?
What do you mean? Can you explain? I don't get you.
As far as air conditioning, playgrounds being safe for students during recess and after school, band instruments. Why weren't these items taken care of before? Why are we worried about not pursuing a land deal and putting that money to something else?
I'm not sure what you're trying to ask me.
So
Because we need money. Can't do everything without money.
All right. Got the answer. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Anjana?
I would like to thank you all recognized student tonight. And my question is, I know somebody upset and says I'm sleepy like I can't take disease and because of my health issue, I didn't attend last meeting. So I have a right to know what's going on before I vote for something. I need more information. So I don't want to hurt nobody's feeling. If I did, I'm sorry about that, but I need more information to take something right for kids. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I do have.
No, I just have one question for, through you to Ralph. Is that the way it goes? How do you know they're going to build 250
What do you
condos?
think they're going to do with that property, Mr.?
Well,
What do you think they're going to do with that property? Let it sit there? Amusement park?
I don't know. It's
I
been-
know they're going to build there.
I beg your pardon?
Can I make a comment?
I just was wondering, how do you know that?
Because what do they do
those
with open
people-
land in this town? What do they do with open land in this town?
Well, we just heard that that's wetland, didn't we?
It's a quarter of an acre out of 9.
Well,
So they'll build on 8 3/4 acres.
well, time will tell.
Yes, it will.
And if we're not doing the right thing by the
Guys,
kids now,
let's not throw stones
No, I'm
at each
just
other. Right?
saying,
We
if we're
all
not-
we all voted based on our conscience.
we're
like,
sitting here because we care about the students.
We all do,
We
right?
care about the students, the parents, the teachers, the faculty, everybody that makes this a success. So, if we're not taking care of the students now, we can't find it in a budget, because people are going to complain whether it's 12%, 2%, 8%. That's not right. Really, what matters is what's being done for the kids, for the students, and for the parents and the families and the teachers. The pre-K is a necessity. That should happen. That's a pivotal point going into kindergarten, especially with AI and automation. The kids really need a head jump into kindergarten, first grade. And it's a disservice to the teachers to worry about if they're getting laid off or fired if they don't have a job. How could they comfortably teach when they're worried about their job? And they're still doing it. They're coming to work every day. They're teaching. We really need to start figuring on and voting on what's more important and what matters. And I think it's the students, the parents, the teachers, the faculty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to ask John. I think Mr. Lugo has a point that we can spend that $9 million, $8.5 million on a lot of things, but very soon it's not a lot of money. $9 million is going to run out soon, and after that, what do we do if we want to have build AC or repair roofs, so we would have borrow loans, right? And how many years of terms loan we can have right now, usually?
I mean,
Is it short term, right?
Yeah,
So
it's short term. You're looking at 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
that's
challenging.
very hard. You know, you have to pay a lot of money, pay it back very quickly. But with this land, we can apply for the energy saving program, which is enable us to borrow a long-term loan. I understand, right? 20 years loan with like $50 million. Is that right?
Yeah, that's accurate. If we do something in terms of an energy savings incentive program district-wide, we will be able to tap into leveraging a loan that has a much more favorable term and rate in the neighborhood of 20 years.
Yeah, and so let's say we borrow $50 million for 20 years. What's our annual payment for that $50 million?
I mean, ballpark 50 on a 20-year terms, probably at 3.5. You're probably looking about, $3.6 million a year.
Okay, so it's just like buy a house. You paid a down payment of $9 million, but you can get $50 million to use in the next 20 years, but only add $3 million for the taxpayers. Am I correct?
Correct, yes.
Now, can we take the same $50 million ECIP loan without a land with our schools that we have?
We could probably do a secondary ESIP, yes, even without the land, right? Because it's a district-wide initiative.
Right.
Yeah, you'd probably be able to do something very similar, yes.
Okay, so the purchase of land is not to get the loan. It mutes that point, right? You can get the same loan without purchasing a land. Okay, anyone else?
Motion to adjourn?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.